We thank you so much for your patience. With Kitchener getting here this evening, there's some difficulty on the highway, and we appreciate your patience throughout the delay. Tonight's Inter-County Baseball League game is featuring the visiting Kitchener Panthers and your Barrie Baycats. And we'll get right into the starting lineups. First for the visiting Panthers, managed by Don Menard. Batting first in left field, number 83, Kenny DiClemente. Batting second, the catcher, number 52, Simon Gridberg. Batting third, the center fielder, number 49, Andy Leader. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 44, Reese Reading. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 5, Stephen Whalen. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 15, Drayden Sloan. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 45, Dan Mahoney. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 47, AJ Carosis. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 66, Javier Olsen. Pitching tonight for the Kitchener Panthers, number 17, Christian Hawk. And now, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, put your hands together, make some noise. Here is the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Metlow. Batting first in left field, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting second, the center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson. Batting third, the first baseman, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 28, Malik Williams. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 25, Juan Familia. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 8, Bradby Monte. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Bird. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 34, James Anderson. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 14, Owen Jensen. Pitching tonight for your Baycats, number 30, Juan Benitez. Ladies and gentlemen, the umpires for tonight's contest, calling the balls and strikes, is David Phillips. At first base, Mike Kinnear. And handling third base, Chubba They. Fans, if you could please rise if you are able to. Tonight, we please welcome the singing of the Canadian National Anthem, longtime Baycats volunteer. A warm round of applause for Lisa.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Live from the Barrie Community Sports Complex in Springwater Township, inter-county baseball tonight from Vintage Throne Stadium in Midhurst. The Kitchener Panthers visit the Barrie Baycats. Hello again, everyone, and a very happy good evening to all. With Patrick Melbourne and Kendra Doyle, I'm Ben Davey. Second matchup of the season for these clubs. First visit of 2022 for the Panthers here in Barrie. And tonight, Patrick, you'll get a look at the newest member of the Barrie Baycats, outfielder Juan Familia will make his IBL debut tonight as the Baycats DH.
Yeah, got a chance to speak with him pre-game. He's excited to be here, excited to play in front of the Barrie fans. He's starting in right field today as part of a middle of the order that looks a little bit different for the Baycats today, batting right behind Malik Williams. So the Baycats with a bit of a different look in the lineup, and fans getting to see a couple of newer Baycats. That was a strike.
And for those wondering why tonight's game is delayed, we had about a 30-minute late start tonight due to travel complications. The Panthers arrived later than planned. The good news, everyone arrived, everyone's safe, and we are going to enjoy a ball game here tonight. Let's look at the starting lineup tonight for the Panthers under manager Don Menard. Kenny DiClemente, the left fielder, leads it off. Simon Greenberg, the catcher, is in the number 2 spot. Andy Leader, center fielder, bats third. Cleanup man Reese Reading tonight. He's the DH. Stephen Whalen at shortstop, batting 5th. Drayden Sloat in right field tonight, batting 6th. In the bottom third of the order, Dan Mahoney at first base, AJ Carosis at third, and Pavio Polson will play his first game of 2022 in the number 9 spot at second base for the Panthers tonight.
And now we get a chance to look at Juan Benitez, the starting pitcher for the Barrie Baycats. 30 years old, from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. As he warms up out there on the mounds. This season 2-2 with a 4.30 ERA across 5 games. He's pitched just over 30 innings, struck out 24, only walked 8, has given up 33 hits. And tonight he takes the mound for this game against the Panthers, as the Panthers come into Barrie for the first time this season. Barrie has gone to Kitchener for a game. Riley Hoover started that one. Baycats ended up winning that game. Ryan Rio had a homer. And now we get to see what happens when Kitchener comes to Vintage Throne Stadium.
Yeah, 4-run third inning did the damage for the Baycats in that game. Tyler Plumpton went 2 for 3, a good all-around effort for the Baycat attack, and that was the Panthers' opening day, which was on Victoria Day, their season opener on a Monday afternoon at Jack Couch Park. Home plate umpire tonight, David Phillips at first base, Mike Kinnear, and Chubba Vey behind the bag at third. As Benitez concludes his warm-up tosses. Had a 7-inning start here 1 week ago, last Thursday night against Hamilton, and looked pretty good. 3 earned runs and an 11-4 win.
Yeah, both his last couple of starts have been good. He went 7 innings in both of his last 2. Gave up 4 in that last one, but only 2 in the one before that. Has only walked 1 batter in each of his last 2 starts, and has 12 strikeouts across his last 2 games.
Beautiful night and a good crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium. First game of summer 2022, and had some nice warm weather this week. A beautiful clear sky above us. First inning is brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel. Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. So Kenny DiClemente, the left fielder, steps in. Juan Benitez with a quick look around at his infielders to make sure they're ready. Catcher James Anderson's ready. The first pitch is fastball for a called strike. We're underway at 8:10.
Just want to give a shout out to our production crew. A brand new camera for today's game. You can see the game from a whole new angle. Great job done by the whole team to get that up and running.
This will give viewers a really good perspective on pitch movement and more of a professional big league kind of look with a center field camera. Really nice. We're certainly going to benefit from that as well. Back with the fastball is Benitez, and it's a strike, 1-2.
DiClemente actually appeared in a couple of games for the Baycats last season. It was really early on in the season. He appeared in 2 games. He only had 1 at-bat, though, because he was mostly used as a pinch runner. He has good speed.
That one just missed, not by much. Count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This is DiClemente's first game back at Vintage Throne Stadium since joining the Panthers.
Count is full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. DiClemente taking a .313 average into the game today. Three balls, 2 strikes. Fans looking for a strikeout to start the game. Here's the line from Benitez, and the pitch on the ground to first. Handled by Ryan Rio. Plenty of time to step on the bag, and there's one out. Let's look at the defense tonight for the Baycats. Behind starter Juan Benitez.
Let's do it. Defense for the Baycats. It looks pretty similar to how it has the last couple of games. We got the ground. Defense.
Greenberg, the
We'll get that
left-hander.
for you in just a moment.
Simon Greenberg, the left-handed hitting catcher, is in, and he takes a called strike.
All right, let's give you that defense now. Sorry for the delay right there. Noah McGarry-Doyle is in left field. Jake Wilson in center. Juan Familia making his first start in right field, then left to right in the infield. Branfy Infante, Carson Burns, Owen Jansen at second base. First baseman is Ryan Rio. Behind the plate, James Anderson for Juan Benitez.
Benitez's fastball looking good so far. He's ahead 0-2 to Simon Grinberg. Grinberg with a team-leading .486 average through 10 games this season. Takes a pitch away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 10 RBIs on the year for Grinberg.
Baycats did not see him in that game in Kitchener.
1-2 from Benitez. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. So there's 2 quick outs, and it brings center fielder Andy Leader to the plate.
The center fielder, number 49, Andy Leader.
Yep. Let's give you the game time weather. You can see it in the top right of your screen. It's 18 degrees Celsius right now. Could get down to around 12 or up to around 22, but it's nice and clear. Sun is starting to set. It is a nice night for a ball game.
First pitch to Leader is low and away. A little bit of a light breeze from right to left and slightly in, but nothing that should be a factor, at least at this point of the evening. Just a very beautiful, comfortable night here at the ballpark. We talked a little bit about it off air, but this has just been a terrific start to the season for the Baycats weather-wise. No rainouts, no postponements, not even a weather-related delay.
Well, especially when you compare it to the start of last season where it felt like there were 3 or 4 rainouts, right?
And most seasons there is some sketchy weather in the first few weeks as spring sort of gives way to summer, and you get a nasty, rainstorm or two. But there has been rain, just not on game nights here in Barrie. The Baycats have been very fortunate. Kitchener's had 2 rescheduled games so far. Throwback Thursday, so the Baycats wearing the original red uniforms tonight with the throwback Baycat Wave logo. Pitch is in the dirt. Anderson.
Bit of a callback to that 2005 championship where the Baycats won their first IBL title.
3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the windup from Juan Benitez. Check swing. Did he go? Yeah. No need for even an appeal on that. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
We've seen Andy Leader in different spots in this batting order. I believe he was batting 5th in that game in Kitchener. We've also seen him in the leadoff spot.
Leader hits this one to right field, and that drops for a base hit. So Leader is aboard with 2 out, and that brings the cleanup hitter Reese Rating to the plate.
Designated hitter number 44, Reese Reading.
Andy Leader got on base 3 times in that game in Kitchener. That was on May 23rd at Jack Couch Park. And Reese Reading, who has moved up a spot in the batting order since then, got on base once in 3 plate appearances.
Leader bluffed to start, did not go, and the pitch is a strike, 0-1. This Kitchener team does not steal. They are among the lower stolen base totals team-wise in the IBL. Leader with just 1 steal, 1
It's
attempt.
kind of looking like he might go, though.
Bluffed to start on the first pitch. This one hit on the ground. Handled by second baseman Owen Jansen. The throw to first is in time for the out. And down go the Panthers in the top of the first. We played a half an inning. Kitchener nothing, and the Baycats coming to bat. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. Bottom of the first inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Panthers nothing, Baycats coming to bat. Let's look at the starting lineup for Josh Matlow's Baycats tonight. Noel McGarry-Doyle has flip-flopped with Jake Wilson. McGarry-Doyle in the leadoff spot in left field. Jake Wilson, the number 2 hitter tonight in center field. Ryan Rios, the first baseman, batting third. Malik Williams is the designated hitter, batting fourth. Newcomer Juan Familia, right fielder, batting fifth. Branfy Infante at third base, bats sixth. Bottom third of the order is Carson Burns at short, James Anderson catching, and Owen Jansen at second base.
Christian Hawk making the start for the Kitchener Panthers. He has 4 starts this season, has pitched just over 20 innings, 22.2 to be exact. Has given up 28 hits, so he does give up some hits.
And Hawk with a called strike to start off Noel McGarry-Doyle's at bat.
Has a 6.75 ERA. Baycats facing him for the first time this season. 27 strikeouts to 8 walks.
McGarry-Doyle hits that one to third. Long throw across, and it's in time for the out. Carosis to Mahoney, one away. Let's look at the defense tonight for Kitchener behind starter Christian Hawk.
Left to right in the outfield for Kitchener, it is former Baycat Kenny Z. Clemente in left, good speed there. Then Andy Leader in center, Drayden Sloat is in right. Left to right in the infield, it's AJ Carosis at third base. Shortstop Stephen Whalen. Second baseman is Paulo Polson. And the first baseman is Dan Mahoney. Behind the plate, Simon Grinberg for Christian Hawk.
Jake Wilson comes to the plate, the number 2 hitter tonight. So Josh Matlow mixing it up a little bit, just flipping McGarry-Doyle and Wilson. They've been a very effective 1-2 punch at the top of the order. But tonight we'll see what McGarry-Doyle looks like in the leadoff spot with Wilson hitting behind him. Both aggressive hitters with lots of speed on the bases. Count is 1-1 to Wilson.
And the key, I think, today will be to just work at-bats and get deep into at-bats, because Christian Hawk gives up a lot of hits, but he does strike out quite a few batters, 27 Ks in just 22 2/3 innings.
As effective as Wilson has been as the leadoff hitter, you look at the batting average, .362 last season. This year, averages at .254. Not really struggling, but definitely a lower stat than last year. And maybe this is just a way to kind of get him a little bit of a different look in the lineup. Pitches up high, and the count is 2-2.
Just getting a new approach for Jake Wilson, who can hit really, really well, but sometimes has struggled when swinging on the first pitch this year.
Pitches high, and the count is full, 3-2. The other factor may be McGarry-Doyle's speed, 12 stolen bases this year. Putting him in the leadoff spot might give him a little more open room to really exploit that. This one hit to the second baseman. What a diving play by Polson as he comes up with a catch.
That ball would have been a lot harder hit than it was, but the bat broke on the swing, and that limited the exit velocity as it went to second base.
Would have been a base hit if he didn't break his bat, and for that reason, you described it perfectly. It wasn't hit nearly as hard as it might have been. Well placed, but because it was slow, Polson was able to get over there and make that beautiful diving catch.
Polson over there at second base making a nice play. That's a tough one to judge when the bat breaks and you don't know what the timing's going to be.
Polson's 2022 debut as well with the Panthers, so right into this ball game.
Welcome to the IBL.
Second defensive play, and It's already got some dirt on the uniform.
And that's what you want when you first join a league, isn't it? You want one of the first few baseballs hit at you. You get to show your team, hey, I'm here, I can make the play.
Get you in the ball game early. 2-0 to Barrie native Ryan Rio. Fouls that one away. Count two balls and a strike.
Ryan Rio had his best game of the season against Kitchener in the last game. He hit the big home run that you can watch right now on the Barrie Baycats social media feeds if you go back just a few days. And Rio really got all of that one, hit it in the third inning off of Adam Robertson.
Two balls, two strikes to Rio here.
It's interesting, you look at the lineups for these Kitchener teams, the two different lineups that Barrie has faced. And they're both a little bit different. No Jet Jarvis in this lineup. Just looking down, there's a few names. Keegan Marsden, Tyler Henriquez, Blake Jacklin, and then Robbie Gauthier. So those players all played in that last game and are not in the lineup today for Kitchener.
2-2 to Rio, and he hits this one to right field pretty deep. Going back is Sloat. And that one is in for a base hit. Ryan Rio is aboard. Well hit ball to right field.
Designated hitter number 28, Molly Williams.
It's a good sign for Ryan Rio as well that he's playing defense today, getting over a day-to-day injury. And now Malik Williams in a big spot here. I guess the big spot maybe isn't coming until later in the game for the Baycats, but you always want to get off to a good start.
Williams playing in just his fifth game since joining the Barrie Baycats, .250 average through those 4 games. And he'll bat with a man on here, and this one in the dirt. Nice play by Simon Grinberg, making sure that one didn't get by him.
Another highlight you can watch on the Barrie Baycats social media channels is Malik Williams' first home run as a Baycat. Hit it in London. We'll have a little bit more on that one later in the broadcast.
So each team with a hit here in the first inning. Rio aboard, 2 away. Both teams with 2 out singles. Williams will try to keep this inning alive. In the dirt again. Simon Grinberg being called upon here in this at-bat with Malik Williams. 2 pitches in the dirt, 2 blocks. Hawk, 25-year-old native of Waterloo, an alumni of Wilfrid Laurier University. Not worried about the runner. Here's the pitch. Gets the outside corner, it's a strike. 2-1. 6th IBL season for Hawk, 4th with the Panthers. Had 2 years in Burlington to start his IBL career. Rio with the lead, 2-1. Foul back to the screen, and it's 2-2.
Wonder if he was teammates with Brad McQuinn, who was also on some of those Burlington teams. It's kind of interesting looking back at those Burlington teams, seeing all different players who ended up on different teams.
2-2 to Malik Williams. Christian Hawk from the stretch. And the delivery. Right side and through into right field. Rio to second. Williams is aboard. 2 on with 2 out for Juan Familia.
And Hawk struggles sometimes giving up contact throughout this season. That's the 30th hit he has given up this year in just 23 1/3 innings. So Malik Williams, knowing that it's probably going to be in the zone, finding a spot on the right side and just getting it through in the perfect spot. So this is Juan Familia. It's his first at-bat as a Barrie Baycat.
Watched it. And the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Panthers infielders encouraging Christian Hawk to get the final strike here to finish off the inning with Juan Familia at the plate. Hawk to Familia with the 2-2, and this one's hit up the middle and gloved by Pavio Polson. Another broken bat, and that ball not hit nearly as hard as it originally looked. And Familia is retired. So the Baycats strand 2 in the bottom of the first. And we're scoreless as we head to the second inning. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared.
Brought to you by Barrie Today, BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycats scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Second inning brought to you by Barrie Today, BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycats scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. Some of you may have encountered a technical difficulty we were dealing with in the bottom of the first inning. Appears to be resolved now. Sorry for the inconvenience, and we should all be good now. Back on the mic, here's Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. Juan Benitez to face Stephen Whalen to lead off this top of the second inning, and it's a called strike. Whalen hitting .320 this season with 2 homers and 10 runs batted in. Got that wide open stance with that right foot way up at the top corner of the batter's box, and he's behind here, no balls and 2 strikes. Whalen, Sloat, and Mahoney due up for the Panthers here in the top of the second inning.
Whalen had a home run in that game against Barrie on May 23rd. It was in the second inning.
0-2, and that just missed. Panthers with a hit in the first, Baycats 2 hits in the second. Neither team able to score here after 1 inning. Benitez to Whalen with a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed, and the count is 2-2. Benitez to Whalen. High fastball, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Whalen. Benitez steps off, adjusts his cap. .30-year-old right-hander looks in to James Anderson for the sign. Here's the payoff pitch. Hit weakly right in front of the mound. Benitez picks it up, makes the throw, in time for the out.
Just got a little bit ahead of that one. Whalen's got a really nice batting stance. I like it. Back shoulder up, and has a way of generating some good power, but was just off on the timing there on the pitch from Benitez. Well called by James Anderson behind the plate.
Right fielder number 15, Drayton Slow.
Drayden Sloat comes to the plate, hitting .286. This Kitchener team can hit. .309 as a team. That's third in the IBL behind London and Welland. Offense not an issue for the Panthers at all. They got 3 guys in the lineup tonight hitting .400 or better. 5 players in the lineup hitting .300 or better. So the offensive production has been there for Don Menard. Baycats hitting just .259 as a team this season. They're tied with Guelph. That's better only than Brantford. So conversely, the Baycats would love to get a little bit more offense in their attack. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. Anderson blocks that. Drayden Sloat has a home run and 4 RBIs this season. Benitez with the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen. For those just joining us, wondering why we're only in the second inning, this game was delayed about 30 minutes due to travel complications. Panthers arrived a little bit later than planned. We had an 8-10 first pitch here tonight. Swing and a miss. Sloat goes down. Second strikeout of the night for Benitez, and there's 2 away.
So you know how Whalen was ahead of that last pitch? Well, Sloat was behind that one. Benitez really doing an effective job at mixing speeds.
Dan Mahoney.
Second strikeout of the game for Juan Benitez.
So 2 away for first baseman Dan Mahoney. Starts him off speed, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Mahoney, one of those 3 players hitting .400 or better in the lineup for the Panthers tonight. He's got the average at .429. And he pops this one foul. And he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Our new outfield camera will really give you a good visual view of the pitch movement, especially when you're watching the breaking pitches from Juan Benitez. The camera just slightly to the right of center field, so left center, depending on which way you're looking at the outfield. Juan Benitez gets the sign from James Anderson. The leg kick, the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouled off right side. Here's the pitch from Benitez. Hit weakly right side. Over near the Barrie dugout. No play for anybody, and the count holds at 1-2. Shadows across the infield now as the sun starts to set to our right. A little bit of daylight still between the mound and third base.
And the contrast in the shadows is not big enough to make any huge impact on the field of play right now.
Could still be a little bit tricky over on the third base side on a pop-up in that direction, but field starting to cover in shadows quickly here. 2-2 pitch. Hit to right field, or second base rather, over to glove. That is Owen Jansen. Shallow right field for the out. 3 up, 3 down go the Panthers in the top of the second inning. It's scoreless here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For the Panthers in the second, no hits, no errors.
Bottom of the second inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Fans, don't forget all Saturday afternoon home games that start at 4 p.m. this season, including this weekend, are Junior Baycat Days with the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 360, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties. Family fun will be taken to a whole new level. And we've got the defending IBL champion London Majors here on Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. So get your tickets at barriebaycats.com or at the box office prior to game time. And
that last game between Barrie and London was incredible. It was a really, really entertaining game from start to finish. Close game. Baycats ended up winning.
Two of the best teams in the IBL battling it out head-to-head here on Saturday afternoon. If you haven't been to a game yet this year, that will be a good one. Infante hits this one to left field, deep and gone, just like that. A home run for Infante on the first pitch, and Barrie's on top 1-0. Infante barreled up on that one, and it was a no-doubter to left field.
Well, Christian Hawk just did not miss enough of the plate with that one, and Barrie Infante over the left field fence.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
First home run of the season for Infante, and it gives Barrie the early 1-0 lead.
That's the 4th straight Baycats home run where the player hitting it was hitting his first of the season. Had 3 of them in London, and now the home run by Barrie Infante.
Shortstop Carson Burns now. So 1-0 Baycats on a solo home run to left field by Barrie Infante. Pitch from Hawk on the way, and that's high, snared by the glove of Simon Greenberg. Burns this year, .259 through 15 games, has a homer and 8 RBIs. Pitch from Christian Hawk, and that one's high as well. 3 balls and a strike. Pitch to Burns, on the ground, right side. Second baseman Pavio Polson makes the assist, 1 away.
The catcher, number 34, James Anderson.
So Pavio Polson with an assist and 2 putouts already here. We're only in the bottom of the second inning. Busy IBL debut for the Kitchener Panther. Barrie's James Anderson, the catcher tonight, batting 8th. Fouls that one weakly left side. Out of play. Anderson with some clutch hitting early on this season for the Baycats, has a .267 average through 14 games. Pitch from Hawk. Curveball sails inside, 1-1. Anderson went to school in the U.S. for 7 years, played for the Ivy Leafs in the North Dufferin Baseball League, and prior to that, Division II in Arkansas. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him here. Owen Jansen, the number 9 hitter, is on deck. Hawk working quickly with 1-2 on the way. Anderson hits this one high. Right side. Drayden Sloat comes over, and that ball's going to drop foul.
Anderson's just been a little bit late on these last few swings. I wonder if he readjusts and swings with different timing on the next one.
Panthers will host the Baycats again this Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. That one at Jack Couch Park. Kitchener's off following tonight's game until that Sunday night matchup. Barrie gets that London visit here that we mentioned on Saturday afternoon.
Kitchener beat Brantford last night, whereas the Baycats have had a day off, so
all the way to the backstop.
Kitchener would have a couple off days.
Hawk with a little bit of location trouble. He's put a few of them in the dirt already.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than the problems Christian Hawk has had to this point in the season.
This one's fouled off to the right side, and the count holds at 2-2.
In previous games, Hawk's main issue has been leaving balls inside the plate like he did to Barrie Infante there. He's only walked 8 so far, which is a little bit higher than he'd like, but not location problems being your first thought when you're thinking of him a problem.
Anderson hits this one pretty deep center field, and that's going to drop for extra bases. Andy Leader over to pick it up. It's a double for James Anderson.
Doesn't it feel like every time you look, James Anderson has another big moment for these Baycats this season?
Owen Jansen.
Leader was playing Anderson straight away, and not quite as deep as he needed to there on that hit by Anderson. He hit that one pretty deep to center field. And another base runner for the Baycats here with 1 out in the inning. So here's 23-year-old Owen Jansen. The pitch inside. Seeing some good defense from catcher Simon Grinberg. Keeps that one from getting back. 1-0.
Grinberg's been busy early on in this game, both him and Polson at second base, seeing a lot of defense.
11th game for Jansen. He's hitting .206. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. A run, 4 hits for the Baycats, no runs, 1 hit for the Panthers. Bottom of the second. Christian Hawk looks in for the sign from the belt. Checks the runner. And the 1-1 pitch. Low and inside. Noel McGarry Doyle on deck, top of the order for the Baycats to follow. Here's the pitch to Jansen. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Feels like Owen Jansen's confidence has really increased over these last few games, both at the plate and defensively. We've seen him get stronger and stronger in the field, become a really reliable fielder. And then he had that home run in London, one of 3 Baycats to hit a home run that day, but his late in the game was the 3rd of the day, and it was one of the game-defining hits for the team.
Here's the pitch. On the ground, foul. Count holds at 2-2. Christian Hawk looking for his first strikeout of the ball game.
And Hawk is kind of going at the mound with his feet and just trying to get comfortable out there, because he really has not looked comfortable through the first time through this order.
Hawk has 27 strikeouts. That's 5th best in the IBL. Looking for his first of the game here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, left side, and that will drop for a base hit. They put the stop sign up to hold Anderson at 3rd, so it'll be runners at the corners now with 1 out, and we're back to the top of the order.
What you just mentioned with the strikeouts, that is the other side. You might see some contacts and more hits than you want to see if you're Christian Hawk out there on the mound, but you'll also see him play around with the timing of hitters and strike a lot of batters out.
So with 1 out in the inning, we'll see if Josh Matlow puts Owen Jansen in motion here. He has 1 steal already. Second base is open. Let's see. Here's Hawk to work to Noel McGarry Doyle. Jansen takes the lead, does not go. And a called strike to start it off to McGarry Doyle.
There was a long look by Hawk over at first base at Jansen, though, and Jansen kind of going back and forth, maybe pretending that he'll steal just to get into the mind of Hawk a little bit. Why not, right?
And he draws the throw. McGarry Doyle 0 for 1 tonight. Hawk comes set. 0-1 pitch. Runner does not go. This one hits a 3rd. They go to second for 1. No play over at first, and in to score is James Anderson. 2-0 Baycats.
Center fielder number 15.
Jansen retired 5-4. And McGarry Doyle is aboard on a fielder's choice. Two runs for Barrie here in the second.
I think now is a good time to see if Jake Wilson's approach is going to change a little bit with 2 out, now batting in the number 2 spot.
And
Chances
McGarry Doyle
are
draws
from
a throw.
Hawk, he's going to get a strike. And Jake Wilson is a guy who swings at first pitches an awful lot. So you might see something on the first pitch, or you might see a different approach.
Another quick throw, and that one gloved by Mahoney. Dropped the ball, but it stayed right in front of him.
Yeah, that one nearly got away.
Sneaky move by Hawk after he made the first throw. As soon as he got it back, decided to fire it right back to the first baseman again within seconds. Not a bad idea. Didn't fool McGarry Doyle, though. He was back. Now he goes. Wilson shows bunt, pulls it back. A high throw, the tag not in time. Stolen base for Noel McGarry Doyle.
You have to get everything absolutely perfect defensively to get Noel McGarry Doyle on a stolen base attempt, and that throw is just a little bit too high to be considered perfect.
Wilson was thinking bunt, but pulled the bat back, I think realizing that he was going to be under that, didn't want to pop it up. And McGarry Doyle gets himself to scoring position with 2 away. Count should be, I think, 1-1 here. Here's the pitch, and this one's hit up the middle. Nice play by the second baseman. Can't come up with it, though. Pavio Polson goes back to get it in shallow center field, and in to score is Noel McGarry Doyle. Well, that's going to be a hit all the way for Jake Wilson. Not much that Polson could do. Made a good effort to get there.
The first baseman, number 27, Ryan.
Wilson drives in a run. 3-0 Baycats now.
Just doing a good job at making sure your opportunities work out. When you get base runners, you have to take advantage of that in this league.
So the stolen base by McGarry Doyle ends up being a factor here as Rio, first pitch swinging, fouls it back.
Take a look at Ryan Rio's first at bat, and you'll see a really good approach, and you'll see the ball hit very hard to the right side. That's what he'll be looking to do once again here. Probably the exact same hit is what he's thinking. Wilson's got good speed at first.
Rio 2 for 4 in Barrie's last game against Guelph on Tuesday night. He's got the average up to 250 after a stellar 412 season last year in 23 games. He's had some clutch hits for the Baycats. Now just looking to get the consistency going, get a little bit of a groove, and he's starting to establish that over the last couple of weeks. Runner goes right back to Hawk, and he has plenty of time with the underhand toss to first. And Rio is retired. Down go the Baycats, but not before they score 3, and it's 3-0 Barrie after 2. We go to the third. You're watching Barrie Baycats baseball from Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. Third inning brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Now with more on Baycats outfielder and DH Malik Williams, here's Kendra Doyle.
Before the game, I was able to catch up with infielder Malik Williams. Malik had his first home run for the Baycats on Sunday's 14-8 win against the London Majors. Malik told me his first as a Baycat felt pretty good. He had seen a good pitch and potential in the hit, which it was indeed the case for him. Labatt Stadium, where Malik had his first as a Baycat, is the world's oldest continuously operating baseball park. Malik said the feeling is extremely cool, knowing the history of the stadium as well as the large group of fans in attendance at the game, to see this accomplishment for him. There was essentially a full house in London's park for their Pack the Park Day. Labatt Park has been open since 1877.
Yeah, big game for Malik and a big home run too. Nice job by my partner here, Patrick Melbourne, on the call of Malik's historic first IBL home run, and an exciting game for Barrie, picking up a win over the IBL champs.
And if you missed it, you can see that on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We posted the highlight clip.
AJ Carosas up here for the Panthers. He's ahead 3-0 on Juan Benitez. Carosas, the third baseman tonight. And Benitez serves his first walk of the game. The Panthers get the leadoff man aboard. For the first time tonight, it brings up number 9 hitter Pavio Poulsen to the plate. So Poulsen in his first game of 2022 and his first at bat of the season as well.
Certainly hasn't been a boring game so far for him, though. He's seen what feels like a whole lot of defense early on. Second base is one of those positions where you might see a whole lot early on in the game, and he has certainly seen it.
Poulsen doing a little bit of landscaping in the batter's box, takes a couple of swings, and he's ready for his first at bat. Pitches a called strike.
And because Kitchener got here a little bit after schedule today, they did not get a chance to take batting practice, so this is actually the first time Poulsen has been in the batter's box here.
Grounded to second. Tag is made for the out. The throw to first is in time. Nice job by Owen Jansen. Fielding that ball, applying the tag, and getting the throw to Ryan Reel for the double play.
What a job by Jansen. We were talking about how his defense has looked really, really good lately. Managing to get that tag and then throw it to first. Excellent.
Had to wait for the call from Chubba Vay just to confirm that the tag was in fact applied, but a smart move by Jansen. Anytime you can avoid that unnecessary throw to the shortstop and get the out yourself. He still had time to get Poulsen and did so nicely. This one hit left side, and it's just foul down the line. Kenny D. Clemente, the left fielder and leadoff man. Well, I was curious as to whether that late arrival would affect the Panthers at all tonight, either at the plate or in the field.
I would say it's affected them on the pitcher's mound just a little bit, because Hawk has not really appeared to get comfortable early on. But, you know, it's the hitters that don't take the batting practice that are going to feel it a little bit more.
Yeah, you make a good point, because of everybody on the club, this one hit to second. It's handled by Jansen over to first in time. We'll finish that thought later. Down go the Panthers in the double play, helping out Juan Benitez as they are retired. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. You're watching Baycats TV, and in Barrie on Rogers TV, 3-0 Baycats. Bottom of the third inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's a 3-0 Baycat lead over the Kitchener Panthers. Malik Williams, who Kendra just told us about. Juan Familia, Brant Fianfante. Heart of the order, 4-5-6-2 up for the Baycats here in the third. And you'll hear the voice of Brody Sheffield from Midhurst. There it is. Brody, just 11 years old, here with his dad at the ballgame tonight, and he is our junior Baycat Rock 95 PA announcer for the third inning. Breaking pitch from Hawk, and it misses ball one. Three runs, 6 hits for the Baycats. No runs, 1 hit for the Panthers. And a called strike to Williams. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, a strike. 1-2. Home plate umpire David Phillips saying that caught a part of the plate.
If you're watching and you're more familiar with Kitchener than you are with Barrie.
This one's skied to center field. Andy Leader, a couple of steps back, has a good read on it, and he takes it for the out.
Malik Williams, one of the big signings this season for the Baycats, had big university numbers. And the Baycats are very excited to see him in their uniform. Also very excited to see Juan Familia in his second at-bat.
Sounds familiar. You're shaking your head. I promised you I'd say that once.
Yeah, you did.
No more.
It's actually the third time you've said it in total, though.
You had to put up with it twice off air.
Yeah.
No more, I promise. You don't like punny announcers.
Familia just got a piece of that one.
All right, fielder 0 for 1 tonight, lined out to second
just
to
signed
end
a couple
the
of
first
days
inning.
ago.
Here's the pitch. That's outside, 1-1.
It's not that I don't like the puns. It's just that, it wasn't the greatest one to begin with.
I know. That's...
And then you hear it 3 times. That one goes up and in, and that one... in your first game, if you see a ball up and in like that, it can wake you up a little bit.
2-1 to Familia here. Swing and a miss on a hard fastball. 2-2. Hawk really varying his speeds here. Started the at-bat with some slow stuff and threw one of his hardest fastballs of the night right there.
I was talking to Juan just a little bit before the game. He said he was excited to be able to play in front of the Barrie crowd.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. We're in the third. Christian Hawk with the windup and the pitch on the way. Curveball misses, and the count is full, 3-2. Hawk last worked June 17th in Hamilton. That was a 5-1 loss. He went 5 2/3 that night. This one popped up left side. Third baseman Carosis over, out of his reach.
I think the one note so far on Familia is that he's been behind a few of these pitches, so I'm sure he's thinking the same thing. That's where Christian Hawk will get you. It's the timing. He does a good job overall in getting ahead of batters and fooling them when they don't know what's coming.
And I'm sure that has something to do with the high strikeout total, 5th best in the IBL. Here's the 3-2, and this one fouled behind us.
And that was interesting because that was actually, he was early on that one, so he definitely was thinking about changing the timing. It's just that, again, Hawk was ahead of him.
It's a guessing game, and we'll see what Grinberg puts down here for the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. More high heat, and down he goes.
Timing was good, just got him upstairs on the fastball.
Brody Sheffield, the junior Baycat, telling this crowd to make some noise. I like it. And he announces Brant Fianfante, the third baseman. Brody's doing a great job tonight, getting this crowd fired up. A little extra on that PA mic. I love it. Why not? You only get half an inning.
You know who's also doing a great job tonight is Brant Fianfante, 1 for 1 with a big fly.
First pitch, home run to left field. Hawk pitching him carefully here. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, if he stays in the strike zone normally, he probably isn't going to do that as much against a guy who's already taken him deep tonight. Infante is seeing the ball well, though. He's adjusting, and he's catching the ball right as it comes out of the arm. That ball was going up, and he managed to just get a piece of that one because you can tell in that original swing it was going for a ball right in the middle, but he adjusted to get it up.
And he fouls this one back for a strike. 2-2. If Infante can really find his groove, that'll add so much to this Barrie Baycat lineup. Infante playing just his 8th game tonight, hitting .250.
Most of them at home, but he has played 1 or 2 games on the road.
Here's the pitch. And the count is full, 3-2.
He's just he's following the ball so well right now out of the hand of Hawk. And as that ball curved outside the strike zone, he had an eye on it.
Up the middle. Diving effort made by Whalen, no play. That's an infield hit for Branfi Infante. Really only got 1 good pitch to swing at in that at-bat, and he makes no mistake.
Well, sometimes the pitcher has control, like you saw in a couple at-bats earlier, but sometimes the batter has control, and the pitcher doesn't know what to throw by the end of it. Got one in the zone there because finally he had to throw one in the zone, and Infante was all over it. Great at-bat. Infante now 2 for 2.
And that hit a gift for Brody Sheffield, who gets to announce one more Baycat batter, Carson Burns.
5 total bases for Infante.
So 7 hits tonight for Barrie. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning, looking to add to a 3-0 lead. Baycats with a 6-4 win over Kitchener earlier this season, and this one's hit deep. Right center field, and it'll stay in the park. Later makes the catch. Burns hit that one a long way, but it's allowed out, and that will get the Baycats retired in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They strand the single by Infante. Through 3, it is a 3-0 Barrie lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fourth inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. A 3-0 Baycat lead. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Just talking to Sabrina from Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, and they've got the beautiful long sleeve shirts here that you can pick up at the stadium, Patrick. $25 for youth, $35 for adults, and 10 of those dollars go to send a kid to camp. As this one sits at left field. A base hit. It's kind of a light gray, dark gray blend. It's got Vintage Throne Stadium on the front and the Baycat B insignia on the sleeve. Really good looking long sleeve shirt.
Andy Leader.
So
Definitely
you're wearing the Baycats shirt today, but maybe in a future broadcast you wear the Vintage Throne Stadium shirt?
Definitely a shirt to pick up. Bring a few extra bucks and you'll look good wearing that around the ballpark and supporting the Baycats. I love that Vintage Throne Stadium logo. Looks great.
It's on the sign out front.
Oh, that one up high. Andy Leader has to duck to get out of the way of that one, and down to second goes Grinberg.
It was cool to see that sign being unveiled, by the way. I was there taking some photos and writing the article about that.
Well, it really reflects a new era of this franchise, which sort of, transitioned coming out of the pandemic. Last year sort of felt like the first year, and a new name on the stadium, certainly a part of that. A great partnership with Vintage Tyrone Barber Lounge and so many others that have come on board. Fastball for a strike from Benitez. So at second is Grinberg with Leader at the plate in a 1-1 count.
Great location on that pitch, by the way. It looked like it would be inside as it came to the plate, but it got enough of the plate to be a strike.
1-1 as Benitez checks the runner. And the pitch. Just missed, and it's 2-1.
This strike zone has proven to be a little bit small early on.
Grinberg does not have a stolen base this year or an attempt. Again, as mentioned, this Kitchener team just does not run very much. I think that I've seen 6 stolen bases here the entire season from the entire club. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Andy Leader.
Benitez really rolling along right now.
This team's strength is their bats as opposed to their speed. This one hit weakly in the infield off Benitez, and he's not going to have a play.
And that's okay, because him doing that and keeping the ball inside the infield actually saved a run right there.
Well, he elected to try to get a piece of it. It really wouldn't have been mattered if the other infielders had picked it up. I don't think they would have had a play. Infante and Burns were both there.
No other fielder would have had a play, and if it had gone to the other fielders, he would have rounded third and gone home to score a run.
So it's an infield hit and 2 on now with nobody out, and Benitez in his first jam of the night with cleanup man Reese Reading at the plate. So Grinberg at third, Leader at first.
Reading scored a run in that other game between Barrie and Kitchener. Was actually on base for the Tyler Henriquez home run in the 6th inning in that game. Henriquez not in the batting order today for Kitchener.
Leader does have speed if he gets the green light, but again, Don Menard, just not a manager that sends his runners very often.
And there are pros and cons to that.
James Anderson behind the plate tonight. There he goes. And he's in safely. A strike is recorded. And down goes Reading. Into second is Leader.
So the con to stealing bases, and if you ask a manager who doesn't like stolen bases, the con you'll hear is, I don't want my guys running into outs. And if you steal 30 bases in a season and get caught 10 times, that's, it's a good ratio on paper, but it's also 10 outs, right?
Well, my thinking is if I were a manager, and I'm not, which is probably a good thing, but with runners on the corners and less than 2 out, this one hit on the ground and threw into right field. And that'll bring in 1 run, maybe 2. Up with the ball is Familia. The throw in, not in time. 2 Panthers score. So there we go with Grinberg and Leader both coming in, and it's a 3-2 ball game on an RBI single by Stephen Whalen. But
Benitez was really rolling, and even that pitch wasn't a bad one. Caught a little bit too much of the zone, but it was weak contact to the right side, and a little bit unfortunate for the Baycats that 2 runners were able to score there. It was just the placement of the ball, but it was not hard contact against Benitez.
And it brings Drayden Sloat to the plate now. Still just 1 out in the inning, and the Panthers are back in the game down 3-2.
continue your point about the stolen bases?
Well, we'll wait till see what Sloat does. He may interrupt me here as well. We'll see. He doesn't. Takes it for a called strike. With runners on the corners and less than 2 out, if you've got a guy at first with average or above average speed, why not send him?
Well, it's because if you're calculating run probabilities and all that kind of thing, if you're running into an out 10 times out of 40 in the example I use, some people would say that's not a good enough ratio. You need a really, really fast runner.
But it's a situation where if the catcher does throw down, your guy from third's got a chance to score. So
if you decide to flip that and go with your strategy and say, okay, be a little bit more aggressive, Welland has certainly decided to do that. And in a league where it's proven to really, really work well, there are strong arguments that they should be a little bit more aggressive on the base paths, especially considering catchers in the IBL have not, to this point, had a strong percentage of throwing runners out.
Well, we just saw a situation there with leader running, able to steal second base. That put 2 in scoring position for Whalen. Suddenly his single brings in 2 runs instead of 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sloat here. And they got him picked off. Wow. I wonder if Stephen Whalen was thinking about stealing there, or was he just drifting too far off the bag? What do you think?
I think he just drifted too far off the bag.
Benitez read that beautifully.
You're right. He was just kind of staring off, and sometimes that's only for a moment, but Benitez noticed it, got over, and got the out.
Maybe that's one reason why Don Menard doesn't send the steal that much. Whalen just not taking a good lead there and just got caught. Should be an easy play. Third baseman Brian Fanfani makes the throw across and in time for the out, but not before the Panthers score 2 off Juan Benitez. And it's a 3-2 ball game now as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Go to the 4th inning. It's brought to you by Centerfield Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005. Late start tonight. It was an 8:10 first pitch due to some travel issues for the Kitchener Panthers, but they got here, and we've got a ball game. It's a 3-2 Barrie lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's James Anderson, the number 8 hitter, to lead it off for the Baycats, followed by Owen Jansen and Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Anderson's one of the biggest examples I can remember of stats not reflecting what a season has been in baseball in general that I can remember. Because his stats are not near the top of the Baycats leaderboards, but man, it feels like every time you look at Anderson, he's on base with a big hit or contributing in a big moment.
Yeah, that batting average has jumped about 30 or 40 points in the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's up to 267 now, and you can add another one to that with a base hit to left field. 2 for 2 tonight.
And he's been such a nice guy in all the interactions I've had with him, so it's really nice to see him doing well. Another guy who's really done well lately is Owen Jansen. Had a bit of a slow start to the season at the plate, but I mentioned in his first at-bat, the confidence looks really, really high right now, and he's doing well on both sides of the plate.
Second baseman Owen Jansen had a single in the 2nd inning. First offering from Christian Hawk. It's fouled off to the Baycat on deck circle. Jansen 1 for 4 against the Guelph Royals on Tuesday night. That 6-1 loss in Guelph. The Baycats 0-2 against the Royals this year. The pitch from Hawk. High and away, and it's 1-1. Three runs, 7 hits for Barrie, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Panthers. Runner leads. Pitch on the way from Hawk. Runner goes. Pitch is outside and a high throw, and a nice job by the shortstop, Stephen Whalen, who was there to glove that, make sure it didn't get any further, but James Anderson gets a stolen base.
We were talking about stolen bases in that last half inning, and I wonder if that James Anderson stolen base is a sign that the Baycats are going to be a little bit more aggressive on the base paths because, you know, it's proven to work in this league so far this season. Anderson does not have the best speed on the team, but went on that pitch, and it was a good decision.
Well, we see what the Welland Jackfish are doing with a staggering number of stolen bases this year, averaging 7 or 8 a game last time I checked. I don't know what the exact number is going into tonight, but one of the reasons why they're neck and neck with the London Majors at the top of the standings.
Welland? Wasn't it over 80?
At one point, yeah. And I'm not sure how many games that was, but yeah, it worked out to, I think, between 7 and 8 stolen bases a game.
We got a chance to see that in one of their games against Barrie here.
And, you know, that's not even factoring in all the, oh, this one hit to right center field. That's pretty deep. It's high, and back it goes, and it's into the night sky. It's a 2-run homer for Owen Jansen. Barrie's on top, 5-2. What a shot by Jansen. Second home run of the season. 10 RBIs now for the second baseman.
It is so fun to watch Owen Jansen hit right now. He is just all over some of these pitches. Second home run in 3 games for Jansen. Second hit of the day for Jansen. Second home run of the day for the Baycats.
Not really a guy you would think of as a power hitter, but boy, if he can bring some power hitting to the bottom of this lineup.
Confidence raising, I think we're going to start to see more power off the bat of Owen Jansen.
Low and inside to Noel McGarry Doyle. McGarry Doyle reached base on a fielder's choice, stole a base, and scored in the second inning. Barrie's first run of the night.
And it was so unfortunate last season that Jansen had that injury that, man, he only played a couple of games with the Baycats, but this year with more playing time, we're starting to see what Owen Jansen can do, and it's really fun to watch.
Hawk with the 1-1. Fouled left side. In play, but just out of the reach of the third baseman, A.J. Carosis.
McGarry Doyle still hitting over .340 this season. Just behind Tyler Plumpton for the lead in batting average for the Baycats this season. Easily has the lead for stolen bases.
Hawk now steps off. Time is called. So it's 5-2 Barrie here in the 4th inning. Still nobody out. The pitch from Hawk. And that's low. Blocked by Grinberg. Gary Doyle, 21 years old, native of Maple. Nearby Vaughan, second season with the Baycats. Two balls, 2 strikes. Christian Hawk with the delivery. Called strike 3. McGarry Doyle puts his head down and heads back to the dugout. Second strikeout of the game for Hawk, and there's one away.
The center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson.
Jake Wilson is 1 for 2 tonight. Had an RBI single in the second. Nobody on here in the fourth inning. Barrie up by 3. First offering from Hawk and Wilson. First pitch swinging. Left side. Third baseman Carosis over. This one on the grass, and he retires Wilson for the second out of the inning. A couple of balls hit in the same area there on that left side.
First baseman, number 27.
Adjacent to third base, and Ryan Rio bats now 2 away here in the fourth inning. First pitch to Rio, and that's low and inside.
Just overthrew that one a little bit, held on to it a little longer than he wanted it to. Had the effect of going down and in.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Breaking pitch fooled him.
Same pitch. I think he wanted to throw the first one at least the same location. Got it in the right spot that time. Got the swing and a miss.
Rio hits this one left side. That's into left field. Base hit. And Rio's aboard for the second time tonight.
Designated hitter, number 28, Malik Williams.
Malik Williams is the DH. And the cleanup hitter for Josh Matlow tonight, and he'll bat with a man on and 2 out here in the fourth. Williams went 0 for 4 in the Guelph game on Tuesday night, the average at .250 coming into this one this evening. Righty-righty matchup. Williams waggles the bat. First offering from Hawk is a high fastball.
The Bugs are greeting us here at Vintage Throne Stadium, by the way. They have said hello. They have entered, even though they were told not to come on in. That was nice of them.
For a strike, 1-1.
No bug spray out today for you.
I think we got some up in the press box. I actually didn't get it back after the last game. But I'll definitely be using it the end of this inning. Called strike, 1-2 to Rio. Rio at first, here's the pitch, and that one just missed. The count is even 2-2. Williams 1 for 2 tonight. I believe Williams called time. Now he's ready. And here's the 2-2 offering. On the ground. That's in foul territory. A.J. Carosis with a busy inning. Panthers host the Baycats Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. That's the rematch this weekend at Jack Couch Park. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's low. The at-bat continues. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Williams.
Good take.
Rio will be in motion with 2 away.
That's one that curves down and away, but as it comes in, it looks like it's going inside to the plate and staying up a little bit low, higher than it actually does.
Payoff pitch from Hawk. Staying alive as Williams just got a piece. And it goes to the backstop, 3-2 count. Three runs for the Baycats in the second, 2 here in the fourth for a 5-2 lead. The pitch from Christian Hawk. Ball 4, and it keeps the inning alive. And Juan Familia will bat with 2 on and 2 out. So that's the first walk offered by Christian Hawk this evening. To go with a pair of strikeouts. Juan Familia still looking for his first hit. This is his 2022 debut with the Baycats this season. Would love to get it here. Maybe pick up his first RBI with it. First offering from Hawk. Low and in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Hawk checks the runner. Here's the pitch. And he misses again, 2-0 in control. A little bit of an issue for Hawk here in this fourth inning. Not finding his spots as he was earlier in the game. Two-0 pitch. This one hit deep. Left center field. Up and over the fence for a 3-run homer. Juan Familia hits his first home run on his first hit as a member of the Baycats. Rio and Williams score ahead of him. Welcome to Barrie, Juan Familia.
Welcome to the team. Adjusted his timing from the earlier at-bats and just got all of it.
Dom Menard out to the mound, and it looks like he's going to give the hook to Christian Hawk, so that's it for him as he will turn an 8-2 deficit over to the Panther bullpen. And the Baycats in control, a 6-run lead on the strength of Juan Familia's first home run of the season. We'll be back to tell you about the Kitchener pitching change when we return. 8-2 Baycats, bottom of the fourth inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Pitching for the Kitchener Panthers, number 93, Barrie Baycats.
On to pitch for the Panthers is Brady Schnarr, and he inherits a 6-run deficit as the Baycats explode for 5 here in the fourth to add to their lead. It's now 8-2 Baycats over the Panthers, and Brantford Infante will be the first Baycat to face Schnarr here in the fourth inning. Schnarr making his 4th appearance of the season, 3rd in relief, 5 1/3 innings of work. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, and an ERA of 10.12.
Second appearance against Barrie this season.
And Schnarr behind quickly here, 2-0 to Brantford Infante. Infante hit his first home run of the season to lead off the second.
Yeah, they didn't want anything to do with Brantford Infante with Christian Hawk still on the mound. He was seeing those balls off of his hand as well as anybody has seen them tonight.
Infante, the 8th Baycat to come to the plate here in the 4th inning. Called strike 2-2. Infante thought that one was off the plate. Here's the pitch from Schnarr. That's in the dirt. Nice job by Simon Grinberg, who's been busy tonight. 3-2.
Yeah, he's done a good job back there.
Nobody on in this situation, but he's had a few tough plays to make there behind home plate. Payoff pitch from Brady Schnarr. Fouled over the screen. So Hawk, the pitcher of record for the Panthers, on the hook for his 2nd loss of the season here, trailing by 6. Pitch from Schnarr, ball 4. Inning continues. Carson Burns will be the 9th Baycat to bat.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Burns tonight 0 for 2. He is the only Baycat who has not reached base this evening. We're only in the 4th inning.
And he came pretty close in that last at-bat.
First pitch swinging, and he hits this to left field, and it's going to drop. Misplayed by Kenny DiClemente. Did not get a good read on that ball. Didn't realize how shallow it was hit.
Well, now everybody's reached base for the Baycats, but he really didn't get far away from reaching base in that last at-bat either. Almost had a home run to right field.
And now we're to the 10th hitter in the 4th inning. Catcher James Anderson, who started it off with a single, a stolen base, and then would score on Owen Jansen's home run.
And man,
3 home runs in this game for the Baycats.
Wouldn't the Baycats like to see Owen Jansen hit again in this inning?
So Schnarr with a walk to Infante and a hit to Carson Burns to keep this inning going here. The Baycats looking to run away with this one. 8-2 the lead and a called strike to start it off. Schnarr checks the runner and the pitch. Called strike, 0-2. Two from Schnarr. Fastball just misses outside, 1-2. Schnarr on in relief of Christian Hawk. Trying to get his team off the field here in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch swung on and missed. So strikeout concludes the 4th inning, but not before the Baycats explode for 5 runs and make it an 8-2 ball game. You're watching Baycats TV and I'm Barrie on Rogers TV.
For the Baycats in the 5th inning, 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Fifth inning brought to you by Eitzall Paving. Eitzall Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for over 37 years because you deserve the best. Ben?
Thank you, Patrick. It's the bottom third of the order. Dan Mahoney, A.J. Carosis, and Pavio Polson. Due up for Don Menard and the Panthers here in the top of the fifth inning. It's an 8-2 Baycat lead. Both Panther runs coming off Juan Benitez in the fourth. Mahoney fouls that one back to the screen. Mahoney lined out to the second baseman to end the second. Hits this one weakly to short. Burns, running throw. Plenty of time for the out. Panthers got back-to-back singles by Grinberg and Leader in the fourth inning. Both runs coming in on an RBI single by Stephen Whalen to get Kitchener on the board, but Barrie exploding for 5 in the bottom half of that fourth inning to take a commanding 8-2 lead in this ballgame. Benitez to Carosis. Pitches high and outside, ball 1. Two 0. 30-year-old Juan Benitez stands 6'6", 210 pounds. His second season with the Baycats.
Essentially been their ace since joining the team.
Really has been, and with the departure of Jason Aquino, no question now, Benitez is the go-to guy. Riley Hoover getting some starts as well, and Evan Souls pick up a start.
In the rotation, yeah.
Foul back to the screen.
And I think with Souls joining the rotation, what you're going to see is more Aiden Russell out of the bullpen in that Souls spot.
Import player Frank Garces expected to join the team soon. We're told it's only a matter of time before he's able to get here. Swung on a missed. Juan Benitez gets his third strikeout of the ballgame and 2 quick outs here in the fifth.
Second baseman number 66, Pavio Polson.
Pavio Polson hit into a double play in the third inning in his first at bat of the season. He's been busy defensively. And he'll step in to face Juan Benitez for the second time tonight. Called strike to start him off. Big strike zone by home plate ump David Phillips tonight. 0-1 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 2. Benitez wins 7 innings in the Hamilton game here last week. In his 5th inning of work here tonight. Fans behind him, wanting him to finish it off with a strikeout. Here's the pitch, fastball, strike 3! Polson is frozen. Back-to-back strikeouts, and down go the Panthers in the 5th. Through 4.5, it's an 8-2 Barrie lead. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV. With Kendra Doyle and Patrick Milborn, I'm Ben Davey. Good evening. We're at Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater and an 8-2 Barrie lead over the Kitchener Panthers with their first visit of the season to Vintage Throne Stadium here tonight.
50-50 winner will be announced in the 7th inning tonight. And we have a few
Rob Daniels just letting us know that Military Night here at Vintage Throne Stadium has been rescheduled for August 11th.
Golf raffle tickets available for you.
Always a great opportunity to support our men and women in uniform, and they come out in great numbers, Patrick, every year, and it's a nice chance for them to enjoy a day of baseball and for us to show our appreciation for all that they do to serve our country.
And that has been moved to August 11th, like you said. Something else that's happening in August, the Baycats will be hosting their annual golf tournament on August 18th at Innisbrook Golf Course. The Baycats are opening up to fans this year. If you're interested, please go to the front entrance for more information or go to barriebaycats.com to sign up.
The second baseman, number 14, Owen Jansen.
Baycats wearing the retro red throwback jerseys here on Thursday nights and looking good with an 8-2 lead, wearing them here this evening in the 5th inning. Number 9 hitter Owen Jansen hit his first home run of the season in the 4th inning. Noel McGarry-Doyle will follow him, and Jake Wilson right behind him. Second home run of the season for Jansen, my mistake. And the first pitch fastball's inside. Jansen tonight with a home run and a single. A 2 for 2. Erased on a fielder's choice by Noel McGarry-Doyle in that second inning. Hits this one hard and into left field, base hit. 3 at-bats and 3 times reaching safely for Jansen tonight.
He's just seeing the ball so well lately. And this has been going on for a few games now.
Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Noel McGarry-Doyle, the leadoff hitter. Fastball to start off McGarry-Doyle with a called strike. Owen Jansen with a 3 for 3 night has the average up to 270 now. That's the one thing early in the season, those batting average numbers can jump quickly with a good night or plummet with a bad night.
Yep, no question.
Jansen was 7 for 34 coming into the game. He's now 10 for 37. So his average goes from 206 to 270. Takes a lead at first, 0-2 the count to Noel McGarry-Doyle, and a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for reliever Brady Schnarr.
The center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson.
2 strikeouts for McGarry-Doyle tonight. Jake Wilson is 1 for 3. Jansen has 1 stolen base this season in 1 attempt. Wilson ahead in the count, 1-0. Here's the pitch. And that's low. The count is 2-0 to Jake Wilson. Ryan Rio on deck, hopeful for an at-bat here. Jansen with the lead at first. Schnarr not really preoccupied with him at all. Throws fastball low and inside, 3-0 now as he falls behind Jake Wilson. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. Brady Schnarr comes set, and the pitch to Wilson. All 4. Wilson aboard for the second time tonight. 2 on with 1 out for Ryan Rio.
Love seeing that new approach from Jake Wilson. And now Rio scored his last time up. A couple of singles already today.
Ryan Rio.
Rio with a pair of singles and a run scored tonight. Left-handed hitter against right-hander Brady Schnarr. 2 on, 1 out in the inning. First offering to him, swing and a miss. Rio 2 for 4 on Tuesday night in Guelph. Another couple of hits here tonight. Nice play by the third baseman, A.J. Carosis, who makes a diving grab. 2 out in the inning.
Great play. You know how fast you have to get off your feet to make that play?
The designated hitter, number 20.
A.J. Carosis read that right off the bat.
Williams.
Had to make a tough dive to his right, but got there in time. And 2 out now for Malik Williams.
And you have to make the judgment perfectly on which way to go off the bat. No room for error on that one.
So the runners stay put. Jansen at second, Wilson at first, 2 away, and Malik Williams is at the plate. First pitch to him is a high fastball.
Feels like it's starting to cool off a little bit here at the ballpark.
Temperatures really dropped. Nice, cool, clear night. Some long sleeves and jackets around the stadium now, though.
Started above 22, I remember. Definitely not there anymore. All the way down to 17 degrees now.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Still amazes me. We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast already, I know, but the fact that here we are finishing the month of June and we still have not had a single rain delay, let alone a rain out here at the ballpark. It's just been spectacular weather. And that hasn't been the case for every team around the league, but here in Barrie, the Thursday nights and the Saturdays have been pretty good, and the Sundays as well.
The only big weather thing I can say that the Baycats have run into this season is the wind in Brantford the other night. I don't know if you were listening to our Baycats radio broadcast right here on Baycats TV, but the wind was unreal.
Wow.
It was as heavy a wind as I've experienced broadcasting.
Well, Brantford has bug problems just like we do here in Barrie. They're not mosquitoes, but they're, I don't know what they are. But they come in off the lake, I guess, and...
There were no bugs that night because of the wind.
Yeah. But that's the other thing you'll run into with a game in Brantford.
Other than sun delays.
Yeah.
It's a nice park, though.
3 balls and 2 strikes here to Williams.
I enjoyed my time there. The media team there was very nice, letting us in and helping us set up our radio broadcast.
Williams hits this one to right field. Slowed is over and cannot come up with a catch. I think he may have lost his footing. Here's the throw to the plate. 2 Baycats score. Jansen is in, Wilson to follow with 2 outs. They were off with contact. And Williams goes into second base with a double.
Just waiting on the scoring on that one. And it will be scored a hit.
He had a good read on it.
Definitely the right call, I think.
I thought he was going to make the catch. He came pretty close to it, but either dove or lost his footing somehow, ended up on his belly, couldn't come up with the catch. And another big inning for the Baycats. 2 more runs scored to make it a 10-2 ball game.
Familia homered in his last time up.
Brady Schnarr looking for the 3rd out of this inning. He came on in relief of starter Christian Hawk in the 4th. Gave up a walk, a single, and then struck out James Anderson to end the inning. And he's in more trouble here in the 5th. Fastball for a strike. One of the harder pitches Schnarr has thrown this evening. He reared back and took that one into a higher gear. 1-1 to Juan Familia. Couldn't catch up to that fastball. Branfi Infante is on deck, the third baseman. Off the top of the screen, and it's 1-2.
One of those that looked like it was heading in our direction just for a minute.
14 hits for the Baycats tonight. We're still in the 5th inning.
I think I've asked you this before, and it's a bad time to ask because there are 2 out, so I'll wait for the pitch.
Because you know, as soon as you ask the question,
Exactly.
the ball's going to be put in play. Nope, outside.
You almost caught that ball in the broadcast booth the other night.
Yeah.
Are you someone who brings the glove to the ball game?
Oh, I still do.
Good.
I still do. Now, at my age, anytime I catch a ball, I give it to a kid, either
Right.
my own
But you still gotta bring
son
the
or
glove.
daughter or another kid nearby. But absolutely. Absolutely. Catch and release. That's my theory. When you're
If you bring
a
the glove-
grown man at the game with a glove, you catch the ball and then find a fan to give it to.
That's a saying. Bring a glove, catch a ball.
Down goes Familia on strikes, and the Baycats are retired, but not before they score another 2 runs to make it a 10-2 ball game. We're through 5. Patrick up to call the 6th and 7th innings for you when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Sixth inning brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house. Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. It is a 10-2 lead for the Barrie Baycats as we enter the top of the 6th inning.
Sixth inning for the Panthers, the left fielder number 83, Kenny DiClemente.
Kenny DiClemente leads things off against Juan Benitez, who's back out there for his 6th inning of work. He's been really good today, mixing speeds well, getting through batters. One of the more dominant performances we've seen from Benitez, who sometimes isn't as overpowering as he is today. Pitch up and away to DiClemente. If you missed what we mentioned earlier about Kenny DiClemente, he was actually a member of the Barrie Baycats a little bit early on last season. And that one's lined to right field, but it's going to go foul. DiClemente got hard contact on that one, but it was too far to the right side. But he was more used as a pinch runner than anything else at the time. Ended up going somewhere else to play for a while outside the IBL, I believe in college, then came back with the Panthers this season and is having a nice year. Pitch from the righty Benitez is inside and low, and the count is 2-1. DiClemente, a left-hander, has nice speed, as the pinch running would suggest, but has grounded out twice today. 2-1. And that is down and in. Count 3 balls and 1 strike. Benitez kicks and throws, and that is inside for ball 4. So Kenny DiClemente gets on base for the first time today, and that'll bring up Simon Grinberg. Grinberg has struck out and singled, ended up scoring after that single. That was in that 4th inning where Kitchener scored both of their runs. Grinberg and Andy Leader ended up scoring. Both of them on that hit by Stephen Whalen. Benitez comes home, and that is up and away. Baycats scored 3 in the 2nd, and then 5 in the 4th, and then a couple more in the 5th. Big swing and a miss from Simon Grinberg, and it's 1-1. Kitchener, like mentioned, scored both their runs in the 4th. Nothing in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 5th. Benitez comes home again, and that is strike 2. So a little more patience at the plate this inning from Kitchener hitters. First Kenny DiClemente, who stands on first base, and now Simon Grinberg. Benitez kicks, comes home, and that is up and away. And he'll step out of the batter's box and take a couple of practice swings as it goes even 2-2. DiClemente's got speed at first, but is not taking a big lead. Benitez kicks, throws, and that is popped up to the left side. Third baseman Brantford Fonte moving over, gets under it, and he makes the play right as the grass turns into dirt over there. And that'll be the first out of the inning. So 1 away. DiClemente stays at first, and Andy Leader steps up. Infante, for someone who's moved around as much as he has defensively this season, has really played well at every spot. Whether it's right field, where he's been seen the most, or now at third base, Brendan Cawley getting the day off. Pitch up and into Andy Leader. He singled his last time up and also singled in the 1st inning. He's one of the only batters, I believe the only batter, to be 2 for 2 today for the Kitchener Panthers. Benitez still out there for inning number 6, but he has an 8-run lead to work with. And that just misses down and in, and it is 2-0.
Leader among the leaders in the IBL offensive categories again this year. 3rd in batting average, 415 coming into today's game. That's behind London's Robert Mullen and Cleveland Brownlee of the majors as well. Not
a big lead at first. Kicks, comes home, and that's up and in. A pitch that didn't have a whole lot of movement on it. And the count is 3-0 to Leader. Defense playing double play depth. Benitez to Leader, and that's right in the middle of the strike zone for the first strike of the at-bat. It's 3-1. Reese Reading is on deck. Benitez ready. Anderson gives the sign. And that is popped up over the first base side, but it's going to go out of play.
It's going to be playable for a fan. Oh, he elected to let it drop.
Well, he didn't bring his glove.
Got the ball anyway. Why risk a bruise when it's going to land right in front of you?
Count now 3-2. Runner should be going on contacts. Leader back in the batter's box. Umpire at home plate says play ball. That's David Phillips back there. And now Benitez comes home. And that's strike 3 called. Inside part of the plate. Benitez gets the call. Leader had already thrown his bat away for ball number 4, but it wasn't ball number 4. It was strike number 3, and there are 2 away.
Wow, Benitez still with plenty of zip on that fastball. He worked 7 innings in that Hamilton game here last week. I wonder if Matlow will give him the ball for the 7th as well.
He's gone 7 innings in each of his last 2 appearances.
That seems to be the benchmark for him now with every start he gets.
Has an 8-run lead here. Here's Reese Reading, and he takes a big cut at that one for a strike, and it's 0-1. Reading has grounded out and struck out today, the DH. Wearing number 44, left-handed hitter against the right-handed Benitez. Kicks, throws, and it's up and away. Defense back playing more traditionally with 2 out. No longer in the double play defense. Benitez kicks, comes home, and that is a big swing and a miss. It is 1-2.
Juan Benitez has retired 6 of his last 7 batters.
Let's see what he can do here. Reese Reading at the plate. Lefty-righty matchup, lefty at the plate. Speedy runner at first, Kenny DiClemente, but he doesn't seem that interested in stealing. Righty comes home, and that's on the ground to second base. Nice play, but no, it's going to get by Owen Jansen. He stopped it in a nice play to stop it. It was high exit velo off the bat, but as he went to transfer it to the other hand, it escaped him a little bit at second base, and what could have been a nice play turns into an error at second base for Owen Jansen.
Pretty routine play for Jansen. I'm sure if you talk to him, he'd tell you he should have had that one. Again, as you mentioned on the transfer, unable to get it out of the glove cleanly, and by the time he could, it took him 2 or 3 attempts. By the time he could, no chance as DiClemente was safe at second. I wonder if he was thinking about going the short way to second for the 3rd out, and maybe that got in his head a little bit.
Here's Stephen Whalen, 2 on, 2 out. And that's on the ground to Jansen. Takes it on a hop, gives it to Carson Burns, who's covering second base from the shortstop position to retire the side. It's still 10-2 heading to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats, from jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear. Baycats Shop has it all. Visit shopbaycats.com today or follow on Instagram at shopbaycats. Defensive replacement for the Kitchener Panthers, Nathan Laird has come in to play right field for Drayden Sloat. So he stands out there in right. Standing on the mound is still Brady Schnarr. And standing in the batter's box is Bramphy Infante, the right-handed hitter, has a home run today. In fact, has reached base all 3 times. Has a single and a walk after that homer.
The navy blue polo shirt that I'm wearing tonight, Patrick, I got at shopbaycats.com. A really good selection of merch there to choose from.
Bramphy Infante's combined for 7 total bases today, as there's a strike, 0-2.
The other option that I mentioned earlier in the broadcast for Baycats merch are these 3/4 length Vintage Throne Stadium.
He's holding one now, by the way.
I went down and picked mine up from
Here, hold it up
Daniel
just above
and Sabrina.
the booth and kind of flip it around. You can kind of see it in the top left of our screen. Infante swings
yeah.
and misses and
There we
strikes
go.
out for the first out of the inning.
Not really good luck, but there's the back of it there.
Yeah, hold on just a bit more.
So that side,
Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
And then right here,
There you go.
that's how it looks.
How about that?
You can see that in the top left of your screen. It says Home of the Baycats on the back, and on the front it says Vintage Throne Stadium.
And if you don't keep it away from my pen, it'll like say the streak of ink from my pen.
It's got the Vintage Throne logo on
gotta
the
be careful
front,
there.
established 1991, and the Baycat B insignia right on the sleeve. So looking forward to wearing this
Looks good.
Saturday.
Pitch is fouled away by Carson Burns, who stands in as the second batter of the inning after that Infante strikeout. Burns has reached base once tonight in 3 plate appearances. Everybody in the Baycats batting order has reached against the pitching between Snar and Hawk for the Panthers. That one's just up high, 1-1. Carson Burns really hitting the ball well lately. Has a bunch of big doubles and then that big home run in that London game. And also had that fly out to right field that really almost off the bat. It looked like a home run, but it was caught. A lot of hard contact from the bat of Carson Burns. 2-1. On the ground, up the middle. That one's going to get through for a base hit. A base hit for Carson Burns, and just like in every other inning tonight, the Baycats have a base runner.
Tough one for Schnarr. His momentum taking him to the right side, the first base side of the diamond, and reached up with a glove, tried to grab that one and see if he could make a play on it, but unable to do so.
The Baycats have reached base with at least 2 batters in every inning so far. James Anderson trying to continue that here in the 6th.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Never mind a 3-up, 3-down inning. There hasn't been only one inning with only 1 base runner to reach.
Anderson to left, but that one's going to be caught in left field by Kenny DiClemente, his former teammate, and there is 2 away.
Well, this is a Baycats lineup that has struggled offensively at times this season, no question about that. And a big game like tonight, managing to get 15 hits here, and we're still only in the 6th inning. You hope that the team can build some momentum on this and really get some guys finding their groove.
Owen Jansen stands in, and he has been seeing the ball maybe better than anybody over these last few games.
Yeah, 3 for 3 tonight, 2 runs scored. Really good to see him finding his swing.
A home run. That one's fouled away.
And you referred to his confidence a couple of other times, and sometimes that's all it takes for a player to really get going. The talent is there, that raw, natural, God-given ability, but then it's just a matter of being able to feel comfortable up there at the plate. And it takes a little bit of success under your belt sometimes to get to that point, but it looks like Owen Jansen has certainly reached it.
He's also been looking so much better in the infield as well. Even that moment tonight was a really tough play on the transfer. And that is hit to right center field. That one's not going to go super deep and maybe not even leave the second baseman's line of view. It doesn't. He makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. They get a base runner, but only 1 in this inning. That's a little different. We head to the 7th. Baycats still up 10-2. You're watching Baycats TV and the Baycats on Rogers TV Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
Seventh inning is brought to you by Firehouse Subs, Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls by Subs. Save lives. And a pitching change for the Barrie Baycats as Juan Benitez night comes to a close.
Brandon Hillier, in his first inning of work here, throws his last warm-up pitch. And he'll face off against Nathan Laird, taking his first at-bat for the Kitchener Panthers.
Stadium brought to you by Firehouse Subs, Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality, freshly sliced meats.
You can hear the voice maybe in the background of our PA announcer Rob Daniels, part of our great game day team here. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davey, Kendra Doyle with us as well. Brian Backlund, our broadcast producer. Gary Mason, our statistician. Troy Wellington with the graphics and video board. And then Rob is on PA. And Bob Hurley is our team photographer. You'll be able to see Bob's photos over the next couple of days on social media. So Laird steps in righty against the righty pitcher Brandon Hillier. Baycats up 10-2 as we begin the top of the seventh inning. And he hits the first pitch to right field, and that one's going to get down for a base hit, and he's thinking too. He's going to round first and stop thinking about the second base off the bat. But it's still a long single for Nathan Laird on the first pitch of the inning.
Hillier pitched 6 games for the Baycats last season, 8 innings of work, all 6 appearances in relief, put together an 0-2 record and a 5.40 ERA.
And the ERA for Hillier on a couple of occasions has looked higher than it should be based on the way he's pitched. He's actually one of the most reliable relievers on this Baycats bullpen. It's just, you see ERA for relievers, and it's not always the most reliable stat. Because one home run can change everything, right?
Being used in a more extensive role this season, ERA is 2.84. This is his 8th appearance, 6 1/3 innings of work.
1 out of Dan Mahoney is way outside.
Still looking for his first decision of the season, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks coming into today's game.
Nathan Laird is taking a decent lead off first base.
And Brandon Hillier also leading the Baycats in batting average with a .750 average, 3 hits and 4 at-bats this season.
Pitch is outside. It depends on who you want to give. It depends on your mood who you want to give the number 1 spot to for batting average, whether it's him or Tyler Plumpton.
Not enough to qualify for the league lead, but still not an insignificant stat nonetheless if you talk to Brandon.
Be forgetting it. You ask Brandon Hillier, there will be no debate whatsoever. That one is in the strike zone. It's 3-1. Not swinging on 3-0 was the batter, Dan Mahoney.
One of those guys that can be used as an outfielder in an emergency situation for Josh Matlow. We've seen it a couple of times this year.
AJ Carosis is on deck. It's a 3-1 count to Dan Mahoney. Here's the pitch from Hillier. Or at least he was thinking about it, and then he was thinking about the runner.
I think Mahoney called time.
We're here in the 7th inning on Baycats TV. Runner on first. That's Laird, and that one's fouled back to the screen.
Well, if you're Hillier, you just want to get quick outs here. Try to get through these last few innings with a big 8-run lead. No need to nibble around the strike zone and put anybody on. You want to come right at these hitters, let them put the ball in play.
3-2 count. Pitch coming up from Brandon. Kicks and throws. Big swing and a miss. And Hillier, who started the at-bat 3-0, comes back to strike out Dan Mahoney, 1 away.
Tough night for the bottom third of the order for the Panthers as Mahoney goes down for the 3rd time tonight. They are a combined 0 for 7, so 0 for 6 actually. Subtract the walk that Carosis had in the 3rd. But
here is AJ Carosis. We'd also like to mention just one more time how thankful we are to the entire behind-the-scenes production crew on getting us these extra angles tonight. We can see it right now on our Baycats TV feed. It looks phenomenal, and we're thankful to have such great coverage thanks to our production team.
They work hard to help us bring you one of the premier IBL broadcasts around the league, and I'm sure our viewers will attest to that.
Hit off the end of the bat to the left side. That one's going to go foul.
And it's all because of the hard work they do behind the scenes and adding these extra little features throughout the season to the broadcast to make it as useful to the viewer as possible.
Brian Backlund, our broadcast producer, does a great job with getting everything working. There's Bob Hurley, our photographer.
Boy, Bob puts himself in the line of fire, doesn't he? Standing on that left
Well,
field line.
There's an interesting story about something like that, as that one's fouled back to the screen again.
I mean, even the fans that lean on that fence, you know, that's a tough. You got to keep your eye on the play when you're down there.
I was at the game in Brantford, and there was a foul ball, and it actually hit the first base coach, Steven Soldier, right on the arm, and it was not a soft contact, so he was fine. I wouldn't have wanted to be in his spot there, personally. That one's up and away, 1-2.
Bob, a seasoned veteran, he knows what to watch for when he's down there.
Count 1-2 to AJ Carosis. Has a walk today. Was out in a double play, also has a strikeout, as that one's way inside. Fans think he swung. Umpire thinks he didn't. Umpire's going to win that battle, and it's 2-2.
Juan Benitez and now Brandon Hillier doing such a great job holding these Panthers to just 5 hits tonight. We mentioned off the outset that only Welland and London have higher batting averages than this Kitchener team. They got some guys that can swing.
Fouled away again. Nice at bat by AJ Carosis. You look at the opinions of the fans, the opinions of the umpires. The umpires don't often lose those.
Yeah, without video replay, usually the call is the call, and there's absolutely no reversing it.
Pitch from Hillier. And that one is just going to be inside, 3-2.
The fans willing David Phillips there to ring up Carosis for the third strike.
And I think if you ask David Phillips, he's going to say, you know, the fans not going to have a great impact on his opinion right now. His zone is his zone. It's been a small zone today. That's hit to left field. Moving back is McGarry Doyle. He makes the play. And there is now 2 away. Moving back to first is Nathan Laird. And that'll bring up Pavio Polson.
Second baseman, number 66, Pavio Polson.
Polson playing in his first IBL game.
Yeah, and a tough night at the plate. A double play in the third inning to thwart a Kitchener potential scoring opportunity, and then a strikeout looking in the fifth. He'd certainly like to get himself into the game offensively here, down by 8 and a runner on here in this 7th inning.
He has, however, played a nice game defensively, as that's a big swing and a miss, 0-1. Bullpen quiet for the Barrie Baycats. Bullpen also quiet for the Kitchener Panthers. These teams playing in their second game against each other this season, the 0-1. And that's another foul ball. These Panthers this inning have been working these at-bats and getting the pitch count up against Brandon Hillier.
Panthers played last night in Brantford, so the arms might be a little bit stretched out there in the bullpen, but they don't play again after today until Sunday, so Dom Menard can really use that bullpen to the full extent if he needs to.
Pitch coming from Hillier, and that one gets by James Anderson. It's way outside and in the dirt. Gets to the screen, and moving up to second is Nathan Laird without a throw. So the passed ball will give him the extra feet, and Polson now staring at a 1-2 count.
Hillier, an IBL veteran, it's his 7th year in the league, came in as a member of the Burlington Bandits in 2014, which would become the Burlington Herd, and then joined Barrie in the summer of 2019.
1-2. And that one out of play again.
Over near the team bus.
Nice crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium tonight. Looking at an 8-run Baycats lead. Some of them coming home with new shirts, whether it's from the Baycats Shop Tent or the Vintage Throne setup. Here's the 1-2. Big cut and a miss. He's down on strikes. Brandon Hillier with a nice inning in the 7th. We had 2 at the bottom of the 7th. Baycats 10, Panthers 0. You're watching the Baycats on Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie.
As we head to the bottom of the 7th there at Vintage Throne Stadium, a reminder that Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Vintage Throne Stadium this season. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online or find a location close to you to find deals today.
Top of the order, and Noel McGarry-Doyle standing in. I said 10-0, I believe, going to break after the top of the 7th. It's 10-2, as you can see on our score graphic. New pitcher Adam Robertson immediately throws inside to Noel McGarry-Doyle and hits him with a pitch. So he'll reach base to lead off the 7th.
It's one other game in the IBL tonight, and it's a big one. The Guelph Royals are on top of the Welland Jackfish by a score of 6-1. Welland red hot, running a 5-game winning streak into that game against the Royals. Royals looking to put it to an end. The Jackfish committed tonight 2 full games ahead of the London Majors for top spot in the IBL standings.
Yeah, that's significant for the Baycats, and the Royals kind of on a run because they won their game 6-1. Baycats coaching staff, that's Steven Zoldra and Josh Matlow out there just to make sure Noel McGarry-Doyle is okay, give him some extra time.
Well, the Royals have really been a hot and cold team this year, and they played very well against Barrie both games, but a 7-7 record. And 5-5 in their last 10.
Matlow, as well as the trainer, Katarina Zindaris, heading back to the dugout. McGarry-Doyle seems okay. He's going to stay in the game at first base. And now Jake Wilson steps in, lefty hitter, against the lefty pitcher Adam Robertson, who will reset himself a little bit, come home, and pitch inside to Wilson, making it 1-0. Wilson has 1 for 3 with a walk, has been on base twice, scored a run. Robertson taking his time, now comes home, and that one's up high. And that was a little bit inside as well.
Robertson, the left-hander, 23 years old, 5'11", 200 pounds.
Here we go, Baycats is the chant. Kind of changed to Let's Go Jake in the middle of it. 2-0 coming home, and that one's hit. It's high, but it's not that deep. In fact, it's a little more shallow than both those fielders anticipated, and it's going to drop. It's a base hit for Jake Wilson in shallow right field. McGarry-Doyle up to second, and there are 2 on with nobody out here in the 7th.
Well, you had right fielder Nathan Laird charging. You had second baseman Pavio Poulsen going back. Poulsen never gave up on it, although Laird had the best chance to make the catch and actually got a piece of it, but was just unable to complete the catch.
Brendan Colley will pinch hit for Ryan Rio. He may have entered a little bit earlier, but I didn't catch that. He'll likely remain in the game at first base. That one's up and in. No, it's going to get the strike zone for a strike, 0-1. Looked a bit up and in from our angle, but the umpire liked it, making it 0-1.
Robertson, a Waterloo native and an alumni of Laurier. Second season with the Panthers in Kitchener.
Outside, 1-1.
Has a career record of 1-6 and a 9.36 ERA, 14 games. Has been used as a starter as well. Made 4 starts in 8 appearances for the Panthers last season.
With these 2 base runners, it continues that the Baycats have had 2 or more base runners in every inning except the 6th. That one's grounded back up the middle. It's going to be a late play at first. Colley's safe at first, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. It was grounded right up the middle. It looked like Robertson would make the play, but he didn't. And then coming in was the second baseman, Pavio Poulsen, and by the time he got to it, it was too late to get anything done. McGarry-Doyle up to third, Wilson up to second, and Brendan Colley on for his first time today. That means every batter who has been in this game for the Baycats has a hit.
Well, the Panthers thought they had nabbed Colley at first, and I did too. If that was, if we had video review, that would be one that the headsets would be on for sure. Very close play at first base, but first base umpire ruling that Colley had beat the throw, so.
I should change that slightly. Everybody's been on base. Everybody has a hit except Noel McGarry-Doyle, who has been hit by a pitch and reached out on a fielder's choice. So depending on whether you think a fielder's choice is mostly a hit.
Tough result for the Panthers, as you
Kinda right.
mentioned. It was a a ball that easily could have been gloved by Robertson and a potential double play to at least get 2 outs of the inning, and now you got the bases loaded with nobody out.
Malik Williams standing in with the bases loaded and nobody out. 1-1, and that is low. 2-1.
Robertson's last outing exactly 1 week ago against Toronto, an 18-6 loss to the Maple Leafs at home.
Up high. Getting out 3-1. Malik Williams with a nice at-bat so far. With the count 3-1, we should mention that Juan Familia is on deck.
Robertson worked 2 innings that game, gave up 4 earned runs.
3-1 coming up. Pitch from Robertson, hit off the end of the bat, right side, could be 2. They go to second for 1. They go back to first. It's going to be late at first, so it turns into a fielder's choice. McGarry Doyle scores, and the Baycats are now up 11-2.
Well, that 3-6-3 double play is always a tough one to turn, and at least they get 1 out.
Right fielder number 25, Juan.
Mahoney went to Whalen for the force out at second.
Familia's only had 1 hit tonight, but man, what a hit it was. It was a home run. And welcome to the Baycats, Juan Familia, after that home run. We'll be playing that one on social media later on tonight.
So Brendan Colley is off the bases. McGarry Doyle scores. Wilson at third now.
Up high.
And Williams is aboard on the fielder's choice.
Still only 1 out.
Yeah, it's been a tough inning for Robertson. Not really any hard hit balls this inning, but
up high. 2-0. Some reactions from the fans after that pitch. Getting at 2-0 to the Baycats right fielder playing his first game with Barrie. Kicks and throws. And that one is upstairs, and it is 3-0. Branfy Infante is on deck. Adam Robertson trying to find the strike zone here. 3-0 count. Here's the pitch, and that one is a strike. Good job behind the plate to get that one into the strike zone by the catcher Grinberg. And the count 3-1. Here it is. And that one's fouled away. We'll do it again. Well, Josh Matlow must be happy with what he's seen tonight from his Baycats offense. You see him there on the left next to Michael Cicchetto. His team has really done well offensively tonight.
yeah, sometimes it just takes one big game for your hitters to find a groove, and the offense has struggled in some ball games this season, so perhaps this could be a good turning point for some of these guys that are looking to get some consistency in their at-bats at the plate. Mentioned Owen Jansen as a key example of a guy who's really lit it up.
Adam Robertson has fought back into this at-bat. Now the count's 3-2. Started out 3-0 to Familia. Runner on first is Malik Williams. Runner on third is Jake Wilson. Pitch from Adam Robertson. Kicks and throws, and that one's way outside. Not a competitive pitch at all. And the bases will be loaded once again with 1 out. Here's Branfy Infante.
Well, nobody throwing in the Panthers bullpen, so it's Robertson versus the world here in this 11-2 ball game. I'm not sure how many more arms that manager Don Menard has left in his bullpen to use, if any, coming off the game against Brantford last night. This inning just continues to roll along. 6th Baycat of the inning to bat here against the left-hander Adam Robertson.
Here's Infante, who's been seeing the ball really well tonight, as that one's up and in. Infante has a home run, has a base hit, has a walk. Struck out in his last at-bat, but he's not thinking about that right now. Base is loaded, 1 out. Here it is. Big swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1.
Nice curveball by Robertson after coming at him with a fastball for the first pitch.
And you're right, this is Robertson's inning, because no one is even going near that Kitchener bullpen right now. Lefty ready on the mound, kicks and throws. As that is a check swing, he went, and it is 1-2. Even if he hadn't gone on that pitch, it would have been a strike. One-two count. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the 7th. That is outside, 2-2.
Infante, as mentioned, got the Baycats on the board on the first pitch he saw tonight. A home run to left field to start the 2nd inning. He's got a chance to break this one wide open with the bases loaded here in the 7th.
Lefty pitcher ready, comes home. And that's hit to left. That one's pretty deep. That one's back there. And it is out of here. Barrie Infante, a high five to his first base coach as he's going to go around the bases for the 2nd time tonight. Infante with a home run, and the Baycats are up 15-2. It's a grand slam.
When you're hot, you don't miss your pitch. And Infante with a grand slam to go with a solo shot tonight. And a night for the ages for Barrie Infante as he blows this one wide open, 15-2 Baycats.
Barrie
Clearing the
Infante
bases
has
with
been
one
seeing
swing.
the ball better than anybody else tonight, and they are going to the pen. So he must have been ready for quite a while because he wasn't throwing at all this inning. New pitcher on the mound coming up to face Carson Burns. We'll take the break, come right back. It's now 15-2 for Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Fans, Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Vintage Throne Stadium this season. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online or find a location close to you to find deals today. New pitcher is David Bruinsma, who just took his final warm-up pitch. Actually, we'll be allowed a couple more. It's a little interesting because we mentioned it a few times in this 7th inning. There was nobody warming up in that Kitchener bullpen, so either he got loose in the 6th and is still ready, or he came in and really didn't spend much time in that bullpen at all. Bruinsma, the 4th pitcher of the day after Christian Hawk, Brady Schnarr, and Adam Robertson. Robertson came in for this inning and just did not have his stuff. So Carson Burns standing in, left-handed batter against the right-handed Bruinsma. And that one, we'll ignore that. That one's way outside, goes to the screen, and it's 1-0.
23-year-old side armor is a Kitchener native, and being a side armor, you would expect you may see some wild stuff from time to time. A burly 6'2", 235 pounds, and an alumni of Iowa Central Community College. Last worked on Sunday afternoon in the 17-9 loss to the Welland Jackfish.
1-0 coming up. Man, that one's outside, and Bruinsma slipped. So he's not comfortable with the way this mound is set up, and he's actually limping a little bit as he heads back to the mound.
Yeah, he's going to stay out there and walk that off, but it looked like his landing point was a little bit off on that last pitch.
I mean, clearly neither pitch so far has been to his liking. The first one was nowhere close. Up and away, and it's 3-0 to Carson Burns. Still only 1 out in this inning, an inning where Everybody who's come to the plate has scored, save for Brendan Colley, who was out on a fielder's choice.
I think if you're Burns, you're taking all the way here and make him show you something. He struggled on the first 3.
That's a strike, 3-1. James Anderson is on deck. Anderson has a single and a double. It's 2 for 4. 3-1 coming up, and that one is ball 4. Up and away, and Carson Burns on base again. That's his 3rd time on base today, and that'll bring up James Anderson.
Bruinsma still looking for his first decision of the year. This is his 9th appearance, all of them relief, a 2.89 ERA. 6 strikeouts, 5 walks. Last worked in that Sunday game that I mentioned against Welland. 17-9 loss, a lopsided score. Who hasn't had one of those against Welland this year? A couple of earned runs in 2/3 of an inning of relief.
Have the Baycats had one of those against Welland this year?
I guess not. No, the Baycats, a team that have played Welland well, very well.
Yeah.
But the Jackfish, an offensive juggernaut this season, just absolutely running up the score against many teams around the circuit.
Big swing and a miss from James Anderson, and the count is 1-1. Anderson flew out in his last at-bat. That was in the 6th inning. An inning where it was the same exact situation for him. Carson Burns was on first base, and there was one away. Pitch outside, 2-1. Baycats have added 5 this inning. Noel McGarry-Doyle was hit by a pitch. Jake Wilson singled, and then Brendan Colley reached on a fielder's choice. He also singled. Then Malik Williams reached on a fielder's choice.
That pitch was at Anderson's chin, called a strike by the home plate umpire. That's a 15-2 strike right there.
Then Familia walked, and Infante hit a grand slam. Pitch outside. Carson Burns walked, and he's currently on first base, and it's a 3-2 count to James Anderson, who stands at the plate. That's where we are right now in the bottom of the 7th inning. David Bruinsma comes home, and that one's hit off the end of that to the right side. It's not going to go as deep as it perhaps looked off the bat. Moving over and making the catch is Nathan Laird in right field for the 2nd out. So here's Owen Jansen, who has a home run today, also has a single and scored. Also has a single where he didn't score. So he's been on base 3 times today, if you count the home run. He was on base for a minute in the home run.
Jansen's walk-up song got a little bit of a retro groove to it, to go with the retro jersey tonight.
Been on base 3 of 4 times. Looks like Brandon Hillier is going to come back out in the 8th. Doesn't look like anybody's throwing in the Baycats bullpen.
Well, may as well. You don't want to burn through your bullpen in a big lead like this. Baycats are off tomorrow, but you want everybody ready for the big London game here on Saturday afternoon.
Oh-1 coming up to Jansen. Ground ball first base side. That one gets through. It's a base hit for Owen Jansen, and he's been on base 4 times today, and the Baycats will bat around in the 7th.
Well, it was a bit of a difficult play by Mahoney. He would have had to have backhand that ball going to his right, but still definitely a playable ground ball. And that one just keeps this inning going. It's going to be another bat-around inning. 10 batters now to the plate for the 2nd time tonight for the Baycats.
So here's Noel McGarry-Doyle. 2 on, 2 out.
Baycats not an error, but definitely a playable ball.
Baycats up 15-2. Sorry to interrupt you there. As there's a strike to Noel.
Yeah, you look at this Barrie lineup, and nobody in this lineup has not contributed tonight to the offensive attack in one way or another.
Kicks, throws. That's a strike.
Carson Burns, the only Baycat that hasn't scored a run, but he has 2 singles and a walk.
0-2 to Noel McGarry-Doyle, who has scored twice today and struck out twice today. Also has a ground out. And that's upstairs, and it's 1-2. At bat number 6 for Noel. Runner taking the lead off second. That's Carson Burns. And first, that's Owen Jansen. That's hit to first. He's got it. Steps on the bag. And Dan Mahoney makes the play to retire the side. But the Baycats bat around and now have a 15-2 lead. We head to the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie or revivemedspa.ca.
Eighth inning brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping. Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all of your landscaping needs. As Kenny D. Clemente, the top of the order, stands back in for the Kitchener Panthers against Brandon Hillier on the mound, and stepping back up to the mic, Ben Davey.
Thank you, Patrick. A 15-2 Baycats lead. Great night at the ballpark for these fans. Many of them calling it a night, and the crowd's starting to thin out a little bit here. We did have a late start, a 40-minute delay as we had a transportation issue involving Kitchener, so start time was rescheduled by 40 minutes, but it's been a great night for the Baycats fans.
And I personally like the 8 o'clock starts. Like, it's a nice time.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. T. Clemente 1 for 3 tonight. Brandon Hillier on in relief of Juan Benitez, who worked 6. And Benitez in line for his 3rd win of the season. Hillier's count now 3-1 on Kenny D. Clemente. Here's the pitch from Brandon Hillier, and it's high. And a base on balls for D. Clemente. And the Panthers have the leadoff man on in the 8th.
Catcher number 2, Robbie Gauthier.
We have a final in Welland. The Jackfish chipping away at that Guelph lead, but we're unable to catch up, and it's a 6-5 Royals victory over Welland tonight. So the Jackfish handed just their 3rd loss of the season, 12-3 record.
Kitchener's other catcher, by the way, has come into catch in this game and is now at the plate. That's Robbie Gauthier. He was actually the starter in the other game these two teams played. He did not get a hit in that game. He reached base once on a walk, but he was the number 9 hitter and did not hit against Baycats pitchers Riley Hoover, Aiden Russell, and Brad Grieveson.
Swing and a miss. Count 1-2. Baycat win tonight would improve their record to 10-7 and would put them in a tie with Toronto for the 3rd spot in the standings.
Looks like someone's getting loose in that Baycats bullpen.
And a called strike 3. Gauthier goes down, 1 away. Baycats got off to a 4-0 start to this 2022 campaign and then proceeded to lose 4 in a row. And they've been kind of up and down with the 500 mark since then. 9-7 coming into tonight's game. Kitchener Panthers 6-8.
Kind of looks like Chris Cox is the one warming up out there because it's kind of that sidearm delivery you look for out of him. But you'd think Brendan Hillier will be allowed to go as long as he's looking good out there on the hill.
This is Andy Leader with an 0-2 count. Leader with a pair of singles and a strikeout tonight. The only Panther with 2 hits. Slim pickings offensively for Kitchener tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brandon Hillier. Hillier had 2 strikeouts in the 7th as well, so 4 strikeouts for Hillier in this relief appearance.
The designated hitter number 44, Reese Regan.
Hillier had 7 strikeouts coming into tonight, so you can up that to 11. Just 4 walks on the season. Really good with his control this year coming out of that Baycat bullpen. And he starts off Reese Reading with the first pitch strike. Hillier to Reading. Chases a high fastball. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Hillier working from the stretch. The pitch. Strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts for Brandon Hillier. And the Baycats are off the field leading by 13. 15-2 is the score. We go to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV. Bottom of the 8th inning, and it's a 15-2 Barrie lead.
Fans, the newly redesigned BarrieBaycats.com features more highlights, more game day info, and more about your team. Head to BarrieBaycats.com now to get the whole game day experience.
We were joking with our producer, Brian Backlund, just a moment ago that at this point we may have more viewers online than we have here at the ballpark. As this game approaches the 3-hour mark and a 15-2
now you
Barrie
don't agree
lead.
with me when I say I like the later start.
I think you're crazy.
Okay.
During the week, Thursday night, get the game going. I'd actually prefer a 7 o'clock start, but I know that's impossible with traffic and, these players have full-time jobs.
So you don't watch a lot of the 10 p.m. starting games?
On the weekend, maybe.
Okay.
But no. No, anybody with an early morning job or a commute.
That's fair. That's
yeah,
very
I
fair.
got to get home. Now, the kids will be out of school next week, so you may start to see some bigger weeknight crowds into the late innings. But here tonight, this is probably the smallest number of fans we've seen at a point during a game.
Can we talk about Brandon Hillier's 3 strikeouts in a row in that last half inning?
5 strikeouts in his 2-inning relief appearance. We'll see if he comes back out for the 9th, but boy, he couldn't have been any more effective.
I don't think he's heading back out for the 9th because there's someone warming up and someone else heading down to the bullpen right there.
Baycats sent 10 men to the plate in the 7th.
The Baycats bullpen busy right now.
Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to center fielder Jake Wilson.
Kind of looks like Chris Cox out there. We'll look to get you a better view in just a moment. It's Max Loishko actually warming up. We'll get a view of that right now. Max Loishko on the mound right there. You see pitching coach Brad Gravison as well as Brandon Hillier out there. But it is Loishko warming up. He's likely to enter in the 9th.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Jake Wilson, 1 out here in the 8th.
First baseman number 17, Brendan Collier.
Brandon Colley came on for Ryan Rio at first base. Second at bat of the night for Colley. Fouls that one off the screen. Colley singled in the 7th, part of that 5-run Baycats 7th inning. Baycats scoring 5 runs in the 4th and 5 runs in the 7th. Colley got hit in the left arm.
Brendan Colley, who says to a fan that he's fine, he's been hit with pitches a lot in these last few games, especially that Brantford game where he's hit more than once. As Michael Chiquetto is about to get his first at bat of the day.
Number 5, Michael Chiquetto.
Well, this is the 6th time through the order for the Baycats. Williams had reached base 4 out of 5 times. Think the Baycats can get 7 times through the order tonight? Or?
Probably not.
Need a big run, big inning here in the 8th. Williams playing in his 6th game since joining the Barrie Baycats.
I mean, anything's possible, but we're still in the top part of the batting order, and we're in the 8th inning, so I would bet against it, but you never know. We had that big 7th inning, and this team has looked locked in at the plate.
Biggest night of the year offensively for the Baycats
well, if
so
any
far.
night they are going to get another turn through the batting order, it's probably tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike here.
Are you saying you'd like to see this game extend farther and farther into the night?
Well, if it's the Baycats running up the score, sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think we could.
We're not just
sit through-
broadcasters, we're fans
we
too,
could
right?
sit through another few hours of that.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Chiquetto. Chiquetto came on as a pinch hitter in the Guelph game on Tuesday.
That said,
Left center field, and coming over is Di Clemente, and the ball drops. It's a base hit. 2 on with 1 out.
every single hitter has reached base, including the pinch hitters for the Baycats tonight. As here's Juan Familia.
Wow, the pinch hitters too.
Yep.
Familia.
Now, when was the last time the Baycats did that in a game?
I have no idea. But
You'd have to really go back through your scorebook. I'm pretty sure it's the first time this season.
I'm going to flip this for a moment, because if you're unfamiliar with the Kitchener Panthers, they're quite a good baseball team. And, you know, this clearly isn't their night, but I was down in Kitchener watching that game between the Panthers and the Baycats, and they have a lot of talent on that team. And if you're a fan from Kitchener, you're well aware of that. And if you're on the Kitchener side, this is just one of those games that you forget about and move on and go on with your season. But if you're on the Baycats side, you're more than happy to remember this one.
Yeah, the Panthers can swing the bats, no question about that. We mentioned their team average, 309. They've got some guys that can hit. This 15-2 score certainly not reflective of what this team is capable of doing offensively, as that ball goes all the way to the backstop. Colley advances, as does Chiquetto. 2 in scoring position now for Familia.
Well, Familia had a big home run in the 4th inning.
Pitching definitely a concern for the Panthers, and Christian Hawk struggled tonight at times. Baycats got to him for 3 in the 2nd, and then that 5-run 4th inning was really his downfall. 2-1, fouled back to the screen. Off the pole. Sounded like a puck hitting a goalpost. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Wait, have you called hockey?
I did Barrie Colts games, yeah.
Of course, Ben, the longtime announcer for the Colts.
3-2 to Juan Familia. David Bruinsma on the mound for Kitchener and a base on balls. 2 walks for Familia tonight. Juan is aboard. Sounds familiar.
Now, that was the 4th time you've done that joke, by the way. It is calling hockey.
That one was just too perfect.
I'm trying to bring the focus to you and kind of tell people about what you've done in your broadcast career, and then you do a pun, and I suddenly have no interest in that anymore.
Lots of puns. Lots and lots of puns.
That said, you did Colts for many years. Is calling hockey something you would do again?
I have filled in for the Colts from time to time. I think it's been a couple of seasons now since I've been on the hockey play-by-play microphone. But, yeah, I enjoy pinch hitting when they need me. Their lead play-by-play guy, Mike Poirier, and if he's away on a vacation or unable to call a game, I'll step in. But it's been a couple of years.
I've worked with Mike a couple times on Rogers TV.
Hockey as a play-by-play announcer, it requires just such memorization of the numbers.
Oh, it does.
When someone has the puck, you got to know who's got it, and you've got a couple of seconds to get the right name.
And Mike's really good at that, and I've heard you do it, and you're really good at that. And someone else who's really good at that is someone who did Rogers for a number of years, and then also did stuff in Toronto in university, is Steven Sahoyas. I worked with a few times, and I came to Rogers, and I was calling the game with him, and he just blew me away with how good he was.
Left field and deep. D. Clemente back near the track makes the catch. Well, you called a grand slam earlier tonight. I thought I might get to call one there. It's a long fly ball.
If Branfield-Fonte wasn't the player of the game before that, which, he was, he definitely would have been if he had hit a second one.
We'd be going back through the history books to see if any other Baycat had hit back-to-back grand slams.
So Evan Souls is coming up. I believe this is his first plate appearance of the year, but he actually played quite a bit of third base last season. Second plate appearance, I'm told.
So he's in for Carson Burns.
And I guess he's going out to short. Because that other game, he came in as a pinch hitter. That was the one where Ryan Rio pitched. So he actually ended up going to the field and playing third base in that one. So you wonder if maybe they switch things around and bring in Chiquetto at first, Cauley at third, or Cauley maybe at second because he did that, and then Souls over at third because that's the one position he's semi-familiar with.
This is actually Souls' second at-bat of the season, and he grounds this one to second. Easy play for Poulsen. And Souls is 0 for 2 on the season offensively.
Well, we'll see how the defense happens in the next half inning, and I know Gary, our statistician, is going to have a whole lot of fun with that one.
We go to the ninth. 15-2 Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie or revivemedspa.ca.
Top of the ninth inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Sparse crowd remaining for this 15-2 Baycats lead against the Kitchener Panthers. Their first of 3 regular season visits to the Barrie Community Sports Complex this year. And Max Lojko will get the ball to finish it off.
Yeah, the side armor for the Baycats has pitched really well of late over the last few games. Has come in more and more situations and been one of the guys that the Baycats can rely more and more on. So it's good to see Max back out there on the hill. Big lead for him to work with in this one. They just want to finish this one off.
And in your notes in the Roll Cats official program for 2022, you have here under Max Lojko's profile, excellent against Hamilton last season. 2 innings across 2 games, 0 runs to the Cardinals. Second season as a Baycat.
That program, by the way, is going to be available as that one goes into the dugout. Hopefully everybody's okay. It looks like everybody's okay. That program will be available digitally at some point in the very near future on barriebaycats.com, so keep an eye out for that.
4th appearance of the season for Lojko. This one hit to left field. McGarry Doyle comes over and makes the catch for the out. Here comes Laird to the plate. Laird came on as a replacement for Drayden Sloat, the right fielder.
After this, the Baycats are off tomorrow and then play London on Saturday the 25th. That's just a couple days from now. 4 o'clock p.m. start in that one. And then they play Kitchener again on Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. That's in Kitchener. Mark Perry and I will have the call on Kitchener's broadcast.
Right field, long way to go is Familia, and he's able to make the catch. Oh, the ball dropped foul. Thought he'd come up with it. It was out of my line of sight, and the at-bat will continue 0-2.
After that, the Baycats have 4 days off, but they'll need them because then they have 3 days in a row where they're going to be playing games. They're on the road in London on Friday, July 1st, and then on the 2nd, they're at home against Brantford, and then they go on the road on the 3rd against Hamilton. So, interesting schedule coming up for the Barrie Baycats.
Yeah, that Saturday game, they'll be looking for some payback after taking it on the chin against London here on May the 28th. That was London's previous visit.
And then they beat London in London last Sunday. So you can view the team schedule on barriebaycats.com. The option to view the schedule is right there. And right here on Baycats TV, you can see next home game is on Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good game to go to and you haven't been out to Vintage Throne Stadium yet this season, that London game this weekend is going to be good. To short, the throw over is just in time for the out.
You looking forward to that one?
Absolutely. Anytime the defending champs are in town, there's always a little bit of an extra buzz around the ballpark.
And I mentioned too on the last home game what a good job their media team does.
Outstanding.
It's really good. The producer of a lot of that is Matt Hiscox, who's also the photographer, does a great job. And then their broadcast team, I had a chance to listen to Noah Smith and Dylan Baker, and they are outstanding.
Well, and Jackfish, the top team in the IBL, have their 2 visits coming up in August 6th and August 11th. So play them twice here in Barrie in less than a week. Dan Mahoney, shallow fly ball to center field. Wilson is over, and that will do it. And this game goes 2 hours and 59 minutes. And a 15-2 Barrie win over the Kitchener Panthers here tonight. And good to see the Bats break out offensively with everybody in the lineup contributing tonight from top to bottom right through the lineup.
A Baycats win in a big way. And everybody really played a big part, but no one played a bigger part than Bramphy and Fonte, who had 2 home runs, including a grand slam in the 7th inning. And Fonte is going to be the player of the game, but there were a lot of people who could have been home runs as well by the new Baycat, Juan Familia, and Owen Jansen, who hits his 2nd home run in just a few games. So The offense looking good. Another good start from Juan Benitez, and the Baycats going into that game against Welland on a good stretch.
Final tonight, Barrie 15, Kitchener 2, and we'll talk to you here on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock against the London Majors. For Kendra Doyle and Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davey. Good night from Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater.